It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
I have come to the conclusion that Town Square Media is now running the Doge organization at the federal level. I have come to that conclusion. How do I know? You might say to me, how do you know? How do you know? Because of the mixed messaging. One person tells you to do this. The other person tells you to do that. Another person comes in and says, don't do this. You get so confused, you don't even know what to do.
I did. So we started.
I'm kidding. There's usually only two people involved here. So.
Sorry, I didn't wait for the punchline there.
I don't know that there was one.
We started to get into this yesterday a little bit, and I don't want to get, whatever you want to, however far you want to go. But I thought it was ridiculous. The make a list of what you did last week.
I know it's almost like so. Well, it's the president's calling it genius.
I heard that this morning.
Genius. I'm one step above a genius. I think maybe because I don't know that this is all genius. And what he's saying initially, so there were so many different messages that came out yesterday. Number one, ignore it, don't do it. Some agencies have to do it, some agencies don't. I'm only doing it to make sure there's a heartbeat. If you don't do it, you're going to get fired. This is only a test. You aren't going to get fired. And now the latest message is, it's coming again. And if you don't do it, you're going to get fired. And AI is going to be able to go through all of the emails and determine who's working and who isn't, and who is necessity and who is not. And then yesterday he came out and said AI is not doing it. I don't know. See, Biden had an excuse. He spent most of his day unconscious. I don't know the excuse here. Sorry, this is the most brilliant F up I've ever seen in my life. It's brilliant, genius. Well, let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes.
For anybody saying here that we're hating on Trump, I don't think we are. I just I always look at it like this. What would you? How would you react if? Okay, so this is Trump and Musk. So how would you react if Biden did that? Right. So give your honest assessment of,
I'm not sure we can do that as a society today, to be honest with you.
I know we can't. We've talked about this before, but unfortunately, politics became like I'm a Mets fan and someone else is a Yankees fan. So
but I don't even agree with that because even Mets fans look at ourselves and they're like, we suck, right?
Well, who's the Louisiana guy, the bald guy, the big Democrat strategist? He's on all this stuff. He's got the funny accent.
Yeah, him and his wife. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, he's out there saying we suck as far as Democrats.
He is.
It's James Carville.
Thank you, Smitty.
And his wife, Marla? Madeline.
Mary Madeline.
Mary Madeline, whatever. Mary Magdalene, I believe it is. Yeah.
Mary Manilow.
Mary Manilow.
Mary Madeline. Madeline. She was up here couple years ago when Phil was here. We had her up here.
Whoa. She was here when my wife worked here.
No kidding.
Before my wife became a teacher. She was in media and then realized this is going nowhere. I'm getting out.
Wait. She visited here or worked up here?
She worked here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Before you, I think, maybe.
It must be. I don't remember her.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure how long, and that's where I got her as my producer. Brad Davies called and said, hey, we've got a reporter here that might be interested in producing your show. Davey did. And then I hired her, and then she fired me. And here we are today. It's just a beautiful thing. Genius. Incredible. Okay, we have a lot to get into today. Do you know that yesterday was National Tortilla Chip Day? Do you know Sunday was National Margarita Day? I don't understand why these days are all. I think they're prepping you to get ready for Cinco de Mayo.
I don't know. I don't understand these things.
Every day, I know you're really bothered. You always used to be bothered by this. Every day, there's a different something. Not just something, but there's usually about 100 things every day that today is National Turtle Day or whatever.
Well, everything is just to, I guess, in theory, to spur some economic activity. I mean,
guess.
Don't they say this is
or
how
notoriety and
Valentine's Day was born? It was just
Probably.
a reason after 6 weeks after Christmas to get people to reach back into their wallet.
We need you to do something. So I find it interesting that Sunday's National Margarita Day, yesterday was National Tortilla Chip Day, and today is National Quiet Day.
Is it really?
It is.
Can we have a moment of silence?
We can. I'll let you do that. There you go. Okay, did you see the Trump impersonator go after Alec Baldwin in New York City? He's a comedian, and he went after Baldwin, and Baldwin was like, I will punch your face off, or something like that. It was something. Alec Baldwin was confronted by a wigged Trump impersonator outside his New York City apartment building. He was with a driver, and his suitcase with Jason Scoop went in to his impression. He's the comedian. While someone recorded it, he said some pretty brutal things. For a while, Baldwin just kind of let it go. Then he finally got into the comedian's face, and this is what it all sounded like. Here
Alec, it's your favorite president. Look, Alec, I will offer you a total pardon, because I want to be friends, right? I want to be friends. I will give you a total pardon for murdering that woman if you kiss the ring. Kiss the ring, Alec. Kiss the big, beautiful ring. Come on, Alec. Come on. Look at Alec Baldwin, right? He did.
So what I find interesting
that was the line that got crossed.
Yeah, you think?
Well, when you said he was being brutal, I
it's
figured
brutal.
he was trying to make jokes about the death.
So it's interesting because Baldwin was walking and not looking back. He only heard the voice. And if you hear that voice, it's pretty close to Trump, right?
It is pretty, yes.
So finally, he turned around, and then things went a little south.
That impersonation of me, it was not too hot, not too good. But look, we're back in office. You lost. Kamala lost. She's somewhere getting intoxicated. Well, Alec, if you don't want that pardon for murdering that woman in cold blood,
oh boy,
you can call it first degree, you can call it whatever you want, but it was not good. She's looking down on me right now, smiling, happy. Thank you for confronting the man who took me out, who killed me, and that's okay.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
No, you realize, by the
Whoa.
way. No, look at me. I want you to look at me.
Sure.
You got a camera on me here?
The ring, no, it's the ring.
But you realize my kids live in this building, right? But I want you to know something.
We love the children. We're doing great deals for the children.
So be real careful.
Okay.
If this camera wasn't here, I'd snap your in half and break your right out. So you know that, don't you?
Okay. All right, Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin, ladies and gentlemen, class act. Believe me. Believe me.
I want you to get out of here.
Okay.
I want you to get out of here.
Oh, he's yelling at me.
That's
I'm the
terrible.
citizen of this. I was born and raised in New York City. I love you, Alec. Alec, look, you don't want to attack your favorite president, Alec. Look, I love you. I love you, Alec. He's got more balls than De Niro, that I can tell you. De Niro ran away. Alec confronted. That's good. He's strong, but also he's weak because he murdered a woman. So that's okay,
oh
right?
boy, man, my lord. Oh boy.
that is a great Trump impression. That is not good material, though.
And it's
He murdered a woman.
well,
believe me.
it's you say it's not good material unless you're a big Trump fan. In this day and age, anything's okay to go. And I think you probably love it. If you're on the other side, you're like, how terrible. How terrible. I mean, let's think about the woman who died, right? That's
absolutely.
Right.
I think that is pretty nasty. And like he said, his kids live there. I just wish we had a little more decency. And all that is done for what purpose? Social media. Clicks.
Right, clicks. Yes, you're absolutely right. He's looking for clicks.
That is a great impression, though. I will give him
It was pretty
that.
good. It was pretty good.
Believe me.
No doubt about it.
Believe me.
Let's see. What else? We have these terrible, terrible stories of more roof collapses. Sheriff Mitchell warned us about it yesterday, and we saw more. And it's funny, they say if you hear, I think the story you had is if you hear a crack sound, which Saturday night we did. We're just getting ready to go to bed. We're lying there, and all of a sudden we heard a crack, a loud crack.
Yeah, a cracking or popping noise.
But it was only once, and I'm thinking I just think sometimes it'll settle. The house will settle a little bit.
Right.
You know? And but if it starts crack, 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 you better get out of there. Yeah, in fact, the video on KTV, I don't know if you saw it with the fire department going down, it looked like on the back side, it looked like there was a guy on the roof. On the far side, if you watch that video.
I have to go and find this.
Holy moly. The whole thing came down. That was something. So you got to be... and Davey, you unsuccessfully yesterday trying to find somebody to assist you in getting the snow off the rooftop.
Yeah, I called around to 3 different people yesterday.
Everybody's working.
Get no response.
Yeah. How much? What are the in terms of inches? How much do you have on your roof?
Well, I've been getting the edges. We probably got about a couple inches up there. I've been getting the edges around the back.
One of the things that helped is it got really windy at one point, and a lot of the wind. But there is that level of crust when we got a little freezing rain, that brief period. And boy, that's tough to get through.
Yeah, my roof has been hasn't had a lot of snow accumulation on it because of those gusting winds that we had. But Smitty, I was in your neighborhood yesterday. I drove right by your house. I'm not an expert on this, but in my opinion, that you don't have a lot of snow.
No, I'd leave it alone. Yeah,
you don't have a lot. I think you'd
let me tell you something.
Run the risk of putting your foot through the roof if anything else.
If his roof collapses, it's gonna be on you.
I'm sorry.
Be careful. I wouldn't give that advice.
No, I just, it didn't look like he had a lot up there.
Michael this morning says, well, at least Alec didn't say, I'm going to shoot you. That's a good point. That was a good reaction by Alec Baldwin. I mean, how would you react if that was you at night? You're coming home, you probably would not appreciate it. That's really what you're saying.
Absolutely. And if that was just a regular person, so for instance, if Alec Baldwin does punch him, that guy's going to be rich.
Correct.
I don't know how wealthy he is now, but he's going to have a great lawsuit.
Yes, it would not be good for Alec Baldwin.
So if it was me who had been in that situation, he wouldn't come up and I don't think would come up and taunt me because, okay, if I punch you in the face, what are you going to get out of me? And second of all, I'm not a famous person where he doesn't know how I'm going to handle that. But he knows with Alec Baldwin, he's going to get a lot of clicks. And if Baldwin does cross the line, he's like, I've got a lawsuit.
That'd be a big one. Mike also asking this morning, Davey, how is Davey's tooth? Davey, you're typing right now. Let him type.
Furiously.
Let him type. Let him type. Where'd he go?
Oh, here he comes.
Oh. Are you having a problem? Okay. Can you get on that mic right there? That one right there. How's your tooth? People are asking. In fact, Mike says, I can't help but think about the old little rascals. When they're in school, the teacher asked the student, what's an acre? And the student replied, a bad tooth.
My tooth is a lot better than it was yesterday. I went to the dentist.
Okay.
I got another.
Did they pull it?
No, they can't pull it for another 2 weeks. So I get on the 10th, I get it pulled.
Okay. He had an abscess. Oh, you were here yesterday. Abscess tooth, yeah. And how about it for Manaski filling in when he's already got he has a full day ahead of him. And you're coming in here,
my goodness,
getting up in the morning. And
thank you. I'll take a bow.
We appreciate it. You should.
Can I tell you, yesterday we got, again, because of the 2 days.
Needs to be out by 35.
Okay, I'm gonna grab her.
Right,
hold on to your thoughts. Pope Francis is in critical condition, but they say there's some improvement. Although word of kidney disease setting in. Tanya J. Powers with Fox News Radio on the line right now. Good morning, Tanya.
Hey, good morning.
So are we still, as of this morning, looking at a slight improvement with the Pope?
Yeah, pretty much. It's the Vatican said that he rested well all night. I think they put out one sentence in a statement, but he did rest well through the night, which is not a small thing, especially when you're 88, you have double pneumonia, and you're in critical condition. So we're going to call that a win as far as the resting overnight. They said that he did. They reported some slight improvement yesterday, He has resumed working in he's got like this apparently self-contained apartment there within the hospital, the Gemelli Hospital.
Okay.
He had called the Catholic parish in Gaza. He's done that quite a bit during the war between Israel and Hamas.
Yeah.
He also met with the Vatican Secretary of State to approve new decrees for saints and call for a formal meeting to, figure out the sainthood details, all of that. So that's one of the things he did do. So I mean, that is kind of significant that the work of being the Pope and the Vatican is still continuing on. That he is still doing, even though he is still in the hospital. So I guess that's also a good sign.
Yeah. He does look like, now, first of all, it looks like he's put on a lot of weight over the course of the last few years. And I'm assuming he's on my diet, which is going well for him.
I'll have a sandwich, please.
That can be a bit of a struggle as well as he's trying to fight back, because it makes it more difficult for him to be immobile. And when you are sick like this, boy, you lose strength so quickly.
Yeah.
But he's been a pivotal, very instrumental pope for the ages, for the Catholic community around the world. Tanya.
He has, and as you mentioned, he has had. Quite a bit of health issues over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He had pneumonia in 2023 again, and he's also, dealing with part of the lung being removed when he was a young man in pleurisy, and so that's one of the reasons that he's got less of lung function than he normally would on a good day. To say nothing of having double pneumonia. So that's kind of where things are right now. But he is still carrying on the work of being Pope, apparently.
It is also you look at the commitment that some people have, and in the case that I saw yesterday, two priests or two people becoming priests from the United States who traveled to the Vatican just to pray for the Pope at the Vatican. It was pretty impressive. We were at the Vatican over the summer, and it was incredibly hot. But the amount of people that actually show up there every day is unbelievable.
Yeah, like when you see that scene in the movie where everybody's gathered out there, it's like that every day, right?
It is, except the Pope wasn't there that day.
Right, even when he's not there, they just gather in the what they call it, the circle, the square, whatever it is.
So I walked up, Tanya. I put this little white outfit on, and I'm kidding. We hope the best for the Pope, and even President Trump yesterday wishing quick recovery for the Pope. So, Tanya, we appreciate your update. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
Have a great day. Probably a little too soon. I shouldn't be joking about the Pope, but I got to tell you, he's my size. I put on weight, the hair. You put on the clothes. I got to tell you.
Was it Yahweh or Yoda?
Yeah. Good question. Very good question.
You see Chuck's text us here?
Read it. I didn't get a chance to read it, but this just shows you where we are right now in society. And Chuck, listen, no harm against you, but imagine if you were working at the water department down there in Ilion, and the new mayor came in and just started, we don't need this person, we don't need this person, we don't need this person, this person's gone. Oh, and by the way, in order to do it, he went and found one of his buddies who runs a computer shop down on Otsego Street to actually fire everybody. You would be what? Well, listen, hey, it's okay. This is making Ilion better. We're making Ilion greater again.
So Chuck says, and good morning, Chuck. It's good to hear from him. He says, OMG, the nerve of the employer, in parentheses, taxpayers, asking the federal employees what they have been working on at home. I'm going to work for WIBX while, quote, working at home. I only want $53,000 a year. And don't you dare ask me what I'm doing while I'm, quote, working from home.
By the way, this is the, Chuck, I don't take this the wrong way, but this is the parrot thing I'm talking about. These aren't people working from home. These are people that some of them may be working from home, but many of them are not working from home. Some of the people who have been fired are veterans who have been, many of the people fired have been there for years and are committed public servants. But we look at this like it's okay. Screw those people. They don't need those jobs. So, I mean, the only way you care, it seems, is if you're in a situation where someone close to you lost their job.
It's and there's a difference too between saying, okay, in his example, he works here, and if somebody from here said, "Hey, what were you working on last week?" Okay, that's different than kind of give me a list.
If you're getting a review, an individual review, and you're not performing up to standards, which, by the way, people have no idea. And, oh, by the way, you're going to rely on AI to determine whether what you're doing is important enough to keep your job. I think I'd be a little worried about what I write down on that email. So, Chuck, sorry, I don't agree with you. You wouldn't agree with you either if it hit you personally, but you are clouded with Parrott's disease. You repeat what they say, and then you repeat it over and over and over again until they say something else. And then you know what you do? You say something else. No thoughts coming out of your own mind this morning, Chuck. No thoughts. Because if you were thinking, you would have a little feeling, a little bit of sympathy for all these people losing their jobs.
But, Chuck, I was happy to hear from you.
It's
serious.
Yeah, you were.
But I do agree with the point you made, yeah.
I got a break,
and that's
Davey.
different than just saying, what were you working on last week?
Davey, I have to break. And we'll come back. And
why don't we take a break then?
And anybody else wants to see Manaski's becoming a parent. You have a comment on any of this, 315-736-0186. I do want to talk just a little piece, not too long, but a little piece of the tush push. And I have a very strong opinion on this, and I will bet you $50 that Chuck has the same opinion I do on the tush push. We'll see. Coming up at WIBX.
Cloudy skies, 33 degrees, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 6:38. Well, a 10th guard is now charged in connection with the death of an inmate at Marcy Correctional Facility. Nicholas Keeler appeared in Oneida County Court yesterday to be arraigned on murder and other charges. Keeler is accused of being involved in the assault of Robert Brooks in December that resulted in Brooks' death. That death was ruled a homicide. The attack was captured on video. Other suspects arrested in the case are set to face the judge again next month. Cleanup efforts continue in Oswego County after several feet of snow blanketed that area. Officials saying that crews are making progress toward cleaning local and county roads. So far, the snow is being blamed for at least 42 structural collapses. Officials there say if you hear a cracking or popping sound while inside your home, you should evacuate immediately. Also, a list of snow removal service companies has been posted on the Oswego County website. Runners who have not signed up for the 2025 Boilermaker still have a chance to do so. The 15K race will have a capacity of 10,500. The 5K has room for 4,500 runners. This year's Boilermaker events begin July 11th with a Health and Wellness Expo and continue through July 13th when the main race is held. More information at Boilermaker.com. WIBX 950 news time is 6:40. That story that Bill mentioned, the tush push. One NFL team has anonymously submitted a rule change that would get rid of the tush push. We'll talk about it coming up. Here's your forecast from Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic.
More 40-plus degree temperatures the next couple of days, but winter's not over yet. That's just a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. March can be quite a month. A few showers around today. Should do about 40, a little bit milder. Overnight tonight, a chance of showers, maybe some snow showers, 32. Cloudy tomorrow, upper 30s, and more showers of rain early Thursday with a high in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 33 degrees. Sheet of ice out there, by the way. Holy cow.
Parking lots have turned, driveways, parking lots, all of a sudden turned into a lot of ice.
They're skating rinks now.
And it probably will get worse today as we're back up in the 40s tomorrow, near 40, close to 45 on Thursday with rain. So I'm shocked at the amount of snow that went yesterday. And the other part of this is I lost snow off some of the rooftops, the angled rooftops, and then out here in this building, if there was a car parked anywhere near the side of the building, it would have been buried in ice. Yeah. because it looks like an avalanche occurred out there.
We have
something.
There's a round roof here. It's a metal roof, and it's round. It's like the top of like Panorama used to be.
Yeah, almost like the. I guess, is it round?
It is like
right.
That. It's a half circle.
Like a Kwanzaa, whatever. Hot. Yeah, you know what I mean. Hold on tight. We're going to come right back. I want to talk about I got a bunch of comments, and we'll talk about the tush push, which the NFL might be banning. And I don't know, boy, how do they call this? How are they going to call this one? How do you call this penalty? It's not going to be that easy.
No, and I think...
I wasn't pushing his tush. I was kind of leaning in on him.
Because I thought for a while there was a rule in the NFL where you could not push another offensive player. You could block a defender, but you could not get behind and push your own offensive player. And then maybe that changed, or maybe I'm wrong, but we'll discuss it.
The Bills have scored on a tush this year.
They have, actually, more than one.
Josh Allen.
Time. Yeah. Hold tight. We'll come right back at WIBX.
Every once in a while, something that sounds too good to be true is actually, in fact, true. How would you like up to $4,000 of free windows? And when I say $4,000 of free windows, I mean $4,000 of free windows. No gimmicks or games. You don't have to buy $4,000 to get $4,000 free. You just get up to $4,000 of free windows through Patriot Home Solutions and NYSERDA. Of course, some restrictions apply, but none of these restrictions are income-based, and you don't have to sit through a long, drawn-out sales presentation. Give Patriot a call at 315-401-0440, and they can quickly tell you over the phone if you qualify or how you can get qualified. That's 315-401-0440. These aren't any windows. They're high-quality, custom-fitted windows designed to save energy and keep the cold air out all winter. Your window solution is Patriot Home Solutions. Online at patriothomesolutions.com.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journey. Nokian Tires all-weather tires are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow, allowing you to forget the forecast so you can focus on the road ahead, not the road below. Forget the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. Find Nokian Tires all-weather tires at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair with locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Learn more at tallmanstire.com.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
Taxes.
Hey everybody,
is not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Hey everybody in upstate New York. I don't know where in upstate New York, but thanks for listening to the Keeler Show. Never met this man. Don't know why I'm telling everybody to listen, but thank you very much. By the way, this is Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm. I have nothing else really to say to you, but I thank you for listening to me tell you to listen to this man, Bill Keeler, on WIBX.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, we have a lot of comments here. A lot of comments. This is from today. Big Honey's already out there. Wow, it'll be fun listening to the crying from the Democrats when Elon starts revamping the education system next. Well, I do have a lot of opinion on that, and I completely disagree with you, Big Honey. Everybody will be crying. Believe me, this will not be discriminating against just Democrats. And Democrats are not the only ones that benefit from the education department, Big Honey. Like, if you have a child who is disabled, are you only a Democrat? Or are you a Democrat and could you be a Republican? Because the Department of Education plays a huge role in funding so that students are taken care of no matter what ails them, no matter what their situation is around the country. So I think there'll be some pissed off Republicans too. But Big Honey, if your kids are out of the house, you don't care, right? That's why we moved to Florida, right? You moved to Florida, their education system. We don't have to pay any taxes. We don't care anymore. Our kids are out of school. That's the way we are.
It's funny how your priorities change.
They do once you don't have kids. I just noticed last night with my, normal.
Or if you do have kids, but they're out of school, like you care less about what goes on in education.
Why are we paying money for this education crap? Give me a break. And then you get grandkids, and all of a sudden it might matter again. What in the hell are they teaching these kids? I don't understand this. I was saying to my wife, it is amazing when you are living in an empty nest, when all of a sudden your kids have gone off to college or gone off to work or whatever, and you're sitting there, and it was just like 7 o'clock last night. I said to my wife, 5 years ago, we were running around making sure so-and-so had a lunch, making sure this homework was done and that was done and all of this, and now we're just stinking sitting here. It's crazy.
Which was better?
Bring me a cocktail. Now, my daughter used to do that for me. My wife won't do it. Which was better? I don't know. Because you complain about both of them when you're in the midst of them, I do think.
Right. Yeah, most people
I think
will.
that's it. And then do I have one more? Deeds in New Hartford. This is from yesterday. I've got to go into a meeting. I'm dropping off Love Jeff, Bring Back Jeff, and Pay This Man. Andrew and Jeff are the only two that work on this show. Okay. Thank you, Deeds. That's a very good point. I do absolutely nothing. However, I'm not sure for you it's the pay. Although the pay could help.
It could be.
Yeah.
Well, I think what Deeds was actually complimenting you, saying it's so easy for you, it's not work.
Ah, okay. That's a nice way to look at it. Yeah. Thank you, Deeds. That was really nice of you.
Good morning, Deeds, and thank you.
And Mike this morning, I have a comment from him on the tush push. I did want to talk about it. While I'm a huge Bills fan, I think the NFL should get rid of the tush push, or as Philly calls it, the brotherly shove. The reason I'm against it is I think it's dangerous for the quarterback. You're basically putting him in a vice where you have incredible forces pushing in two different directions. Kind of reminds me of January 6th and that one police officer who was stuck in between the door, and they're pushing the door shut, and they're pushing from one end and pushing from the other. You're right. That is not a very good situation. Your opinion on the tush push?
So I just did a quick search, and I'm not saying this is official, but according to Reddit, it was not that the tush push was banned previously, but in 2005 they said it was often too difficult to tell who was pushing who. So the rule, it was a general rule that you were not allowed to assist a ball carrier moving forward. And then in 2005, according to this, they said it was too often too difficult to tell who was pushing who, so they changed the rule. It is still illegal to pull a teammate forward, according to this. You cannot pull
them forward.
Yes. So, and it used to be that you couldn't push them forward either. Because I remember when I was playing football growing up, we were taught this at the high school level, that you couldn't push your own guy down the field. You could try to get in front of him or next to him to block people away, but you couldn't actually.
I don't want to see it go.
The tush push?
I like it. I think it's an opportunity to score. And let's be honest, you could tush push from the defensive end too. So you may be like a tug of war, just stuck there. And you're right, there may be somebody in the middle, but I feel like if you're going to start putting your quarterback in danger, then teams are going to rethink this.
So
because you do not want your quarterback injured.
Absolutely.
So that could be now. And then you have somebody like Josh Allen. I don't see him getting injured currently with the tush push. I could see somebody else getting injured, but that man is something.
I also think where it is right now, it will probably be allowed to exist. But if you see teams, once they get inside the 5 or inside the 3, where they pull their offensive line and they put in like just a bunch of even bigger, fatter guys, just so they could do this.
Right.
And if fans don't like it, again, it's almost like a rugby play, isn't it? Where you everyone goes down real close to the ground, and like you said, it's like a tug of war.
It kind of is.
It's kind of like a rugby.
It's a
play,
push
not
war.
like
It's a push war.
Yeah, it's not like a real football play, or at least stereotypically the way we might.
But I mean,
think
what
of
are
it.
you supposed to do? You get down there. It's like, all right, don't anybody push him. I can't,
Right.
Well, somebody pushed me into him. You can't penalize me for that.
Right.
I mean, this is going to be a mess to try to figure out. I'm for it. I say keep it.
Yeah, I think it'll be.
And I
kept.
understand what Mike is saying, but I say keep it. And I think if you're an Eagles fan, you say keep it, right?
Right, and to one counter to Mike's point, if I understand the concern about injuring the quarterback, but if you don't want to hurt your quarterback, you don't have to tush push.
That's true.
Just don't do it.
Well, and that's my point. Maybe you put a running back in there, and well, you really can't. I mean, I guess you could.
Yeah,
Your running back could hit the line, boom, gets the ball, you push his tush.
What if you put like a see? That's what I mean. If it starts to change the game, where like you're substituting Jalen Hurts for Jason Kelsey, I know he doesn't play anymore, but like a real heavy guy, and you're like, all right, just fall over and we'll push you.
Yeah.
It's kind of not a really great football move.
Do you think it's because of the? Do you think people are against it because of the name? Like the name just sounds. It's the tush push. It's the tush push.
I think brotherly shove is a
brotherly shove. It's a brotherly shove, brother. I mean, I could see that being that could be a little more manly than the tush push.
Right.
Okay, boys, on 3, tush push. Right. I mean,
I would like to know what team submitted the rule change.
It was. I read yesterday it was the Packers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if that's true, but I read it.
And they played Philly in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken.
I read it. We'll see. You never know. Everything you read might be crap, like the 2 messages I'm going to read from Big Honey. Here we go. Every time a Democrat cries, a Trump supporter gets his MAGA hat. Again, Big Honey, you sweet little thing, based on your name only. Listen, these are Trump supporters, and Republicans are losing their jobs, too. It's not just Democrats. This is not a let's get rid of the Democrats. Well, all the people who work for the government are Republican or are Democrats. That's not true. And then one more. He says, our kids can't read or write in the 5th grade. I believe it's time to overhaul the education system. Wrong. Once again, absolutely wrong. You're speaking like a parrot again. You're listening to what someone said on a Sunday program or on one of your news channels, and it's wrong. So if you look at the numbers in New York State, your issue is going to be with the big school districts, the big city school districts. Those are the school districts that are really struggling here. You have so many kids. You have multiple languages. You have those. If you remove the big districts. Now, and keep in mind, many of those big school districts put out kids to Yale and Harvard and everything, but they also have another half that is struggling, and oftentimes there's no parents at home to assist. It's a very difficult dynamic that the larger, even a district the size of Utica and Rome, very difficult dynamic. But if you look at the other school districts throughout New York State, we are one of the better performers in all of the country. In fact, if you're a New York State teacher, they will swoop you up in Florida. They will grab you in the Carolinas. God forbid Mississippi will come up and pick you up and bring you down. We are one of the better states in the country when it comes to education. It's those big cities that draw the numbers down. Big Honey, look it up, and you're going to have to respond by saying, Bill, you were absolutely right.
What was his
Because I know I'm right.
second message?
Said that kids can't read.
But so get rid of the Department of.
So we're gonna blow up the whole education system. Okay, and listen, if you're gonna blow it up, just wait 4 years. My wife's retiring, so do what you got to do after that, because I can give to right. That
won't be your priority anymore.
That's how we are, right? That's how we are. All right, you wanted to comment. You add something here?
Well, no, it was just, I guess, what was his first message?
The first was every time a Democrat cries,
yeah.
a Trump supporter gets his MAGA hat.
Okay. And then the second one, blowing up the education system. I thought that was in reference to getting rid of the Department of Education, the federal Department of Education. The second message was. So, like, for instance, the Giants had a quarterback problem.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't say we're not going to have quarterbacks anymore. We said we're going to get a better quarterback.
Let's get rid of the quarterback. We don't need the quarterback.
Remains to be seen.
We're going to do the tush push. And anybody that gets in there is going to push them. And we're going to start at the 50-yard line. I don't care if we're at our own 20. We're going to tush push all the way to the goal. That's what we're going to do. We're going to score. We're going to use the tush push. No quarterback needed. Is that the answer?
I don't know. I guess we'll see. I don't have the answer.
Sheriff Mashel sent some photos this morning. A photo of one of his barns.
Collapsed?
No. The snow came off the barn. His son is standing at the top of the pile of snow that came down, and his son can touch this giant barn. His son can touch the top of the roof. He says, that's my son on the top of that pile of snow next to one of our barns. The white trim is 16 feet above the ground. So that's telling you there's a good chance that that pile of snow is about 11 feet tall and allows him to touch that white trim. Actually, his head is above the white trim, so it's probably about 12 or 13 feet high, that pile of snow. And I think we have something very similar right out in our own parking lot here.
I'm over it.
We're going to have to tush push on the way out to get to our cars because we're going to be buried in here. Got a break. Hold on. We have news coming up, and Hobica's free money question of the day. The district attorney and Caitlin Conley, that issue, coming up next hour.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in Central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops! Receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried Easy Cater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're gonna need a bigger recycling bin.
Easy Cater, the smarter, simpler way.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Federal workers are given a second chance. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. In a new post on X last night from Doge's Elon Musk, who had stirred things up over the weekend, getting an email sent to federal employees ordering them to list 5 accomplishments. President Trump says,
if people don't respond, it's very possible that there is no such person or they're not working.
Now to that new Musk post. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports.
There is a second chance to respond. Failure to answer again will result in termination this time. But the Office of Personnel Management says agencies will be the ones to review responses and evaluate non-responses. They look into whether employees were on excused leave yesterday or whether they had access to their email over the weekend. The OPM also says agency heads can exclude some workers from this expectation at their discretion.
And the workers were told ultimately replying was voluntary. The House may vote today on a budget blueprint resolution, what President Trump calls one big beautiful bill to increase funding for the border and military and extend the Trump 2017 tax cuts. House Speaker Mike Johnson says,
my calendar has us passing this by probably the first week of April and getting it to the Senate so they can do their work on it.
But all Democrats oppose the plan, which includes $1.5 trillion or more in spending cuts, and 3 House Republicans suggest they may vote no. And with a slim GOP majority, that would reject the resolution. President Trump's warned Canada and Mexico the tariffs he delayed on their imports will be imposed next month, as he also plans retaliatory tariffs on goods coming to the U.S. from other places.
It'll be very good for our country. Our country will be extremely liquid and rich again.
Canada and Mexico could retaliate and put tariffs on American exports, leading to inflation concerns. Now an update on Pope Francis. He still remains in critical condition in Rome. He's battling double pneumonia in both lungs and has had some kidney issues, but the Vatican says the Pope has shown slight improvement. America's listening to Fox News.
When you hear the term living better, what do you think about? More money? A bigger house? Maybe a yacht? What about how you feel physically? How you wake up each day? How you sleep? What activities you can and cannot do? When you feel good, life is good. So if pain is affecting your life, see how Relief Factor can help. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, it doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or even eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So give their 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call, 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're hurting, in 3 weeks or even days, Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Are the U.S. and our European allies on the same page trying to end the war in Ukraine? The UN Security Council passed a resolution backed by the U.S. that failed to call Russia the aggressor, so the UK and France abstained in the vote. The same day, the French president went to the White House for talks with President Trump.
A ceasefire or peace deal ending the 3-year war between Russia and Ukraine could include the deployment of European peacekeepers, French President Emmanuel Macron says.
I think we should never say, I will never send any boots on the ground, because you give a blank check to violate any type of commitment.
President Trump says Russian President Vladimir Putin would accept European peacekeepers.
If we do this deal, he's not looking for more war. He doesn't mind, but I've specifically asked him that question. He has no problem with it.
But on Russian state television Monday, Putin said he has not discussed ending the war in Ukraine in detail with President Trump. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Now, the president's also pushing for Ukraine to agree to a deal letting the U.S. share profits from Ukraine's rare earth minerals to help recoup the cost of all the American military aid that's been sent to help battle Russia. A Republican who ran for president last year, Vivek Ramaswamy, who then was briefly co-leader of DOJ, is now running for governor in Ohio, entering the 2026 race.
If elected, he would succeed term-limited Republican Mike DeWine. Ramaswamy, the tech entrepreneur who ended his presidential bid to support President Trump last year, said he wants to lead Ohio back to days where it led the world.
God has blessed our state with every gift we could possibly imagine. All we need to do is to step up and start believing in ourselves again.
A win by Ramaswamy next year would make him Ohio's first racial minority to be governor. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down after another day of big losses for the NASDAQ. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Mostly cloudy skies, 33 degrees, WIBX 950, AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaski. A 10th guard now charged in connection with the death of an inmate at Marcy Correctional Facility in December. Nicholas Keeler appearing in Oneida County Court yesterday. He was arraigned on a murder charge. He faces other charges as well. Keeler is accused of being involved in the brutal assault of Robert Brooks that resulted in Brooks' death. It was ruled homicide. The attack was captured on video. Other suspects arrested in the case will face a judge again next month. Hoping to ease concerns and confusion among federal workers, the U.S. Office of Personnel Management Monday delivered new written guidance regarding the email from Elon Musk that told them to list their work accomplishments over the past week. The new email, sent just ahead of the initial deadline, said agencies should review responses and evaluate non-responses, including whether the employee was off work when the email was sent. Musk posted on X yesterday saying that federal employees will be given another chance to reply. President Trump praised the effort, saying the email was genius. He suggested the government may be paying people who do not exist. The Vatican, sharing another update on Pope Francis, saying the leader of the Roman Catholic Church had another restful night in the hospital. The pontiff has been hospitalized in Rome for well over a week with bronchitis and pneumonia. And Pennsylvania authorities now say that a man who held staff at a Pittsburgh hospital at gunpoint before killing a police officer was reportedly upset over the death of a family member. Police officials say it was 49-year-old Diogenes Ortiz who was holding hostages in the UPMC Memorial Hospital Saturday. He threatened to kill one in the hallway when several officers opened fire. Officer Andrew Duarte and the gunman were both killed in that shootout. 5 more were injured. Ortiz apparently targeted the ICU where his family member was treated but died last week. And those who have not yet signed up for the Boilermaker 2025, what are you waiting for? This year, the 15K race cap is $10,500. The 5K has 4,500 competitors. The Boilermaker will run on July 13th. Boilermaker weekend kicks off on July 11th with the Health and Wellness Expo. We all look forward to sunshine and warmth, don't we?
That we do.
Right now, cloudy skies, 33 degrees, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM news time, 7:08.
More 40-plus degree temperatures the next couple of days, but winter's not over yet. That's just a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. March can be quite a month. A few showers around today. Should do about 40, a little bit milder. Overnight tonight, a chance of showers, maybe some snow showers, 32. Cloudy tomorrow, upper 30s, and more showers of rain early Thursday with a high in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy and 33 at 7:08. All right, quickly in sports, we talked about it briefly last hour. One NFL team has suggested the league get rid of the tush push. NFL owners could vote on that proposal next month at the owners' meeting in Palm Beach. The Eagles and Bills have scored a touchdown or gotten a first down on 87% of their tush push attempts. Stats show that the rest of the league has not been as successful, just 71% for either a first down or a touchdown. Denver Broncos assistant coach has been arrested. Linebackers coach Michael Wilhoit facing felony assault charges. He allegedly punched a cop over the weekend at the Denver International Airport. Syracuse basketball gets back into action tomorrow night. They come in at 11-16. Smitty, they are
at home against NC State. ESPNU tomorrow night, 7.
And NC State is like having a rough season, too. But that doesn't mean anything for Syracuse. They can lose to the best of them.
Yeah, they sure can, and the worst of them.
And the worst of them.
And the Cleveland Guardians are mourning the loss of their owner. Lawrence Dolan passed away Sunday night. Natural causes. He was 94 years young. WIBX News Time 7:09. I think we're joined by the crew chief there on the phone.
I believe we are. And hold on. I got to get to him here. And boom, I'm ready. Okay, Sal, on the line right now. It is umpire time in the Valley, and here's Sal to talk about that. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, we had our first meeting last night at Notre Dame, and a pretty good turnout. I think I counted around 12 new guys.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and I believe we got about another 2 or 3 coming on Wednesday for their first time. So we're looking at about 15.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you didn't make it last night, it's not like you still can't join. You still can. You got to come
you can
to.
still join.
Yeah, you got to come to the rest of the classes. So it'll be Wednesday. The next meeting
You're allowed to miss 2 classes, but Jeff, you miss 1 class, you're missing a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, because you guys go over a lot of stuff each night. So 12 new guys, that's good.
Guess who attended? Guess who's one of the new guys?
Oh, he sent me a message, and I didn't read it, but I bet you that's what it was. Was it Stefan?
Stefan
was there.
Well, that's awesome.
That is great.
He might be really good at this. He knows the game.
I'd love to see him eject a coach.
Oh, that would be good. That would be good.
Yeah, so like I said, I mean, first night, You know, we had some older ones, but we had a few young guys in there too, which is good.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I almost feel like we should have flyers in our pockets and hand them out at Legion baseball games to the kids when they come up to the plate.
You could be an umpire
Hey,
too.
next summer when you can't play ball at this level anymore, why don't you come up to games?
Yeah.
Make some money doing it.
When we were when we were in New York City, everywhere I turned, there was another poster, and it looked really cool. It looked like a poster for a movie, and it was kind of darkened a little bit. And men and women, they all looked like they were tough, and they were all in their uniforms, and it was like, you can be a corrections officer too. And they're talking about, I think down there it pays like $80,000 or something. I mean, a year. It's pretty good. But if you had something like that, maybe we make those posters up. We do a real dramatic umpire photo. I think it'd be pretty good.
Yeah, we had a photo. We had a banner a couple years ago that we made. It was pretty good. But like I said, when you guys interviewed me a couple weeks ago, we went the social media route this year for recruiting.
Yeah.
And
that helps.
It looks like it worked.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Love it.
Yep.
Stefan is the ump. Mike says it'll be a 5-hour game. I don't know. I think he can keep it moving. I think he can keep it moving. All right, Sal.
Long as him and Manansky on that game, I have no problem.
Okay. And what you can go right to the website for details, right?
MVBUA.com.
Okay.
I'm there right now. Website looks good. It'll answer all your questions. There's numbers and emails if you want to reach out and you have a question, or just meet the guys on Wednesday night, 6 o'clock at the cafeteria at Notre Dame.
Who's the big Denver big NBA star from Denver? What's his name? Jokic.
Yeah.
So Nikola Jokic. And so my son is in Denver, and this guy is a very unique character, right? He doesn't like, they win the NBA championship, and they're like, oh, there's a big parade tomorrow. I did not know there was a parade. I want to go home. Okay?
Exactly.
Right? And so how do you feel after winning? The job is over.
I want to go home.
I want to go home. I mean, this is a job for this guy, but he is unbelievable. And then he has his two brothers who are in Denver as well. The one brother is 7'7". One is a weightlifter, a bodybuilder weightlifter, and the other is an MMA fighter. And one of them, I think it was the bodybuilder, somebody was messing with his daughter at one of the games, and he punched the person. My son said he was there. He said it looked like a sledgehammer came and pounded this person in the face. The guy is 7 feet 7 inches tall. Anyway, so my son is walking into the grocery store the other day in Denver, and who does he see getting out of a $600,000 vehicle? But Jokic. And
No kidding.
and the way you handle that is you just kind of give him a nod and say, hey, how you doing? And you leave it at that, because you ask for a picture or something like that, you're kind of overstepping. But it's quite a he's 7, I think he's 7'2" or 7'4",
something like that.
and
Yeah.
his brother is 7'7".
Well, Bill, I'm 5'7", so I'm pretty close.
You're close. You're almost there. You're almost there.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
Couple
Almost
feet
there.
here and there. That's all you need. All
Yeah,
right.
that's all.
Good stuff, Sal. And
thanks, guys.
Later, man.
thank you. Go, Stefan.
ESPN has Jokic at 6'11", which is still
6'11", still pretty
ginormous.
big. Yeah. Wayne, good morning. Wayne, good morning. Wayne.
Sal's closer to the strike zone. Jeff, I wanted your opinion on this. After the snowstorm, the way the streets are now, they're very narrow, and you can't fit two cars down at the same time.
Yeah.
Or if you do, you barely can. Like blowing out a ball joint because. Okay. What's
Jeff
your
is an expert on this, trying to drive that truck through these narrow streets.
Have you been getting stuck? Have you been backing out of places? And why are they allowing people to park on the street still?
Well, so that I don't know. I'm in Rome, and at least the areas that I'm in, the roads are a little wider. But yeah, for instance, like South Utica, I was in South Utica the other night, and it's like, I don't even know if you can get one car down this road, let alone two.
No, it's hard. And these people, I don't know. They're parking their cars like nothing's wrong with the road.
Right. Well,
Right.
you want your passenger to be able to get out, so you don't want to have them get out into the snow. So you're parking halfway in the street. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's just weird how they got it. And I mean, it's the snow emergency is one thing, but then they should have a no parking on the street as another, because you just can't get down the street.
Yeah.
With a big truck like
Here's the other thing I'm complaining about in Utica. Utica drivers, either these are drivers that don't know what they're doing or they don't care. But you're coming down, and I'm driving an SUV, they got a car. And we're coming down the street. It's very narrow. And one of the side streets. And they're coming down the middle of the street. And I'm like, okay, this isn't going to go well. I'm going to hit you. So I'm the one that pulls into the snowbank to prevent us from. The person just kind of goes along like nothing's going on.
Yeah, the etiquette, unfortunately, for a lot of drivers. For instance, if there is a vehicle parked on the side of the road, if you're behind that vehicle, you're supposed to yield. You wait, right? You wait and let the oncoming.
Right.
But a lot of people don't do that.
And I'm just talking, there is no car even parked. The road is so narrow.
Right, they're just right in the middle of the road.
Two cars barely fit down the street, and these guys are coming down the middle of the street. It's like, what are you doing? Crazy.
Kids walking in the road this morning too deep, like they were a car. And I'm trying to stay away from them, but at the same time, the snowbank and the way the snow is on the other side is going to either make me blow a tie rod or a ball joint. And I'm like, I'm trying to stay away from them. They're looking back at me like I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, you're the bad guy.
I almost sideswipe them.
You know how you handle that is you pretend you're getting out of the car while you're going, and you open the door, and you just knock them right over. Like, I didn't even realize that. Yeah,
I wasn't going fast enough. Get them to tumble.
All right, Wayne. Thank you, man.
All right, later, guys.
Okay.
Nice to hear you, Jeff.
Have a good one.
Thank you, man.
And I'm picturing now Jokic's brother, the 7'7" brother.
Yeah.
And Lucia coming up to him and getting her picture taken with him. He's 7'7", and here's Lucia. How tall are you, Lucy? Would you mind telling us?
Good morning. I'm 4'10". Why?
4'10".
But I'm taller. Don't you think I'm very, very taller than anybody in this world?
Oh, yes, you are. Yeah.
In the brain. I want to be like Ilan. Do you?
I want to be like Ilan? I don't know about that. Do I? No, probably not. Nor have I ever been a big Elon Musk fan. But apparently he's the guy to love these days.
I didn't know Ilan was, before, but I master his name now. And I've seen the cars, since they come out all day, yeah.
Beautiful cars. Yeah, beautiful.
How tall is the guy that I'm going to...
How tall is Elon Musk? I really don't know.
No, not Musk. The guy...
Jokic. 7'7".
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's 3 feet taller than you are.
Now listen to me, Bill. You sent me when I was with you.
Yes,
to the college to play basketball with somebody really, really tall.
I do remember you played basketball against somebody who was well over 6 feet tall. Yeah.
Right. So
that was wild.
Winner.
Who was the winner? Of course,
I
you
won.
Lucia.
I've been trained by the Globetrotters.
And you're friends with the Globetrotters. I mean, you know the Globetrotters. There's no doubt about it.
I'm not friends. I'm best friends.
Best
family,
friends.
Just as tight as you can get.
Well, you guys are close. That's what I would say.
The wife, the kids, and now the son is a Globetrotter. He came to Syracuse. I met my grandchildren. Oh, my God, they go on the floor. You got to see it. My granddaughter did a backhand. What do you call it when you put your back?
Flipping somebody off?
Yeah, what do you call it?
A layup?
Oh, a layup. Oh, okay.
A hook shot?
Yeah, with the Globetrotter. Yeah, with the girl Globetrotter.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it's because she's been doing aerobics. How do you call that?
The aerobics.
Yeah, it's a different word, but I can think of it anyway. And so I'm I've taken pictures of those tall people. Always for 30-some years they will know
You have, and you've actually, there have been times where you brought us like backstage to meet the Globetrotters, and it's really quite impressive.
Yeah, but do you remember when we were waiting with your son to get in the game with me?
I do, and there was somebody said you had to leave, and that person is now dead.
I told them that I know Stuart. is the World Tour manager.
Right.
And he is not believing me, remember?
He did not believe
I said,
you, no.
All you got to do is go there and tell him.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't. And you were with me. And then I said, listen.
I was with you.
You got to go. When Stuart, he told him after. Stuart came down immediately.
Yes, he did.
And then
he did.
He got it us upstairs, and somebody called him a minute later, and he was with us, and they said the game is about to start. He said the game will start when I get there. Give me 10 minutes.
I remember that. And then you clotheslined the security guard.
Can you imagine that? And he told them never to do that. They've been told so many times because they don't believe you. But when
you are one to be believed, Lucia. One to be believed. And
I can do so many things that are just unbelievable. Nobody will believe it. Now with his wife, she called me Angel. We are very, very, very close friends. Not just so lukewarm. One time something happened with the Globetrotter. Okay?
Oh yes, I remember this too.
No,
I don't remember
maybe
this.
Maybe I told you, Bill.
Yeah.
I don't know if you. And somebody was a little nasty to me. Would not tell me when Lou Dunbar was coming.
Yes.
I said, but you can tell me. It's my friend.
Yes.
You know what? He wouldn't.
He wouldn't.
So I said,
They always learn, though, Lucia. They always learn at the end of the day.
This one, right. You know what he did? He would not do it. I said to him, it's okay. I said, I'm going to call him. He didn't believe me, Bill. When I called and I went a little far from him.
It is foolish to not believe you. Believe me.
Thank you. Wow, what a compliment.
Here's a little music for you, Lucia. I do have to break, though.
Can I just tell you this? Lou Dunbar did not answer. I called again. 2 seconds later, he answered. I went and I showed him Lou Dunbar, name on my phone.
Yeah.
He was shocked. And now I told Lou, this guy is not treating me well. Is he crazy? I'm not looking for men anywhere.
And Lou clotheslined him. Yeah.
Is this a personal
You
call?
know what Lou did? Lou had another World Tour manager upstairs. He sent them down immediately to talk to the guy.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. One thing is for sure. There's nobody that's going to mess with you anymore. They know you over at the Odd, and they know it's you and the Globetrotters. Tight as... What's the phrase?
But Bill, I like to make people happy. So if you wanted to go this year, they didn't come.
All right.
I would say, Bill, you want to go? I say to my friends, and I just would love to do things for people, but I don't even know the game, Bill. Would you know? I don't know the game.
I do know you don't, except when you play it. You were very impressive. All right, on this note, Lucia, I do have to break, and you have a lovely Globetrotter day.
No, wait, one more
Can
story.
I just say hello to Ann and Rome, Ann.
Oh, yes, Ann.
All right. Yes, Ann has already said hi. She loves you. Yes. All right, Lucia. Thank you so much. Have a
Good
great
morning,
day.
Ann. We love you.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
And Ann has spoken up, and she said, I love Lucy. That's interesting. I've heard that before somewhere. Got a break. Hold on. Coming right back at WIBX.
Are you a CDPAP home care user or caregiver? Now's the time to switch to PPL and ensure a smooth transition. It's fast and easy. Over the phone, online, at an in-person or virtual session, or with a CDPAP facilitator. Call PPL at 833-247-5346. That's 833-247-5346. Visit pplfirst.com/CDPAP. Register today. A message from the New York State Health Department.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journey. Nokian Tires all-weather tires are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow, allowing you to forget the forecast so you can focus on the road ahead, not the road below. Forget the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. Find Nokian Tires all-weather tires at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, with locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Learn more at tallmanstire.com.
Hungry for something new? Discover Chef's Express, a bakery on a mission. Nestled in downtown Utica at 241 Genesee Street, they serve your favorite baked goods, mouth-watering breakfast sandwiches, savory lunches, and delicious desserts. Plus, catering options for your event. And every bite at Chef's Express helps people with disabilities in our community thrive. Stop in Monday through Friday or visit chefsexpressutica.com. That's Chef's Express. Great food with a greater purpose.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Paid for by Estella's Pharma.
Registration for America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk is now open, and they're looking to break fundraising and race records. The event returns to Utica University on March 8th, so sign up now for the 18-mile, 10-mile, or 3-mile race at uticaheartrunwalk.org. Join the American Heart Association's mission in raising money to improve and promote heart health in the Mohawk Valley. This year's goal is to raise $1 million. Sign up to race or donate now at uticaheartrunwalk.org.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Portions of the program brought to you by Sarah's Flooring Outlet. If you're looking for flooring, as we are, tile, but it's any flooring, carpeting, remnants. If you're looking for hardwoods, the Mohawk, they have the best deal you're going to find anywhere on Pergo Extreme by Mohawk. It's a 60-mile price guarantee. 60-mile radius of the store, you're going to get the lowest price, and they have the largest selection, period, at Sarah's Flooring Outlet. Online at sarahsflooringoutlet.com, and ask about 6 months interest-free financing going on right now at Sarah's Flooring. On the line is Dr. Ken Hall. Dr. Hall is the retired MVHS Chief Physician Executive, and he's on the line now. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Good. By the way, I will tell Lucia if she's listening, Anne from Rome said hello. The two of them talking between us. We're like the medium here for all of that. Yeah,
we are medium.
Medium to partly cloudy. Okay. Doc, I do want to ask you about the latest. Really, what you're seeing in the Pope is kind of what happens with the flu and with COVID and all these things going around. Oftentimes, it develops into pneumonia.
Yeah, so I don't know how it started out for the Pope, but certainly, the path is one that has been well described for people that are, elderly, but also have significant medical conditions. And as many people may or may not know, the Pope had part of a lung removed when he was a younger person, I believe, because of tuberculosis. So, he has had chronic lung problems dating back, decades. So, he would be a person that would be very, very vulnerable to these kinds of progression of these kinds of things. So it may very well have started out with respiratory infection. I know he also has asthma, which is another pulmonary problem. So very important for him to be very careful, and I'm sure that they have been, but that doesn't mean that people aren't going to get sick anyway. So,
What are your thoughts on you don't know what to believe any these days because there's just so much information. People are pushing back and forth, lobbying. They're really lobbying for A, and the other side is lobbying for B. So you never know what's really the fact. It's very difficult to find. But one of the potentials is that RFK Jr. is against drugs for attention deficit, such as Adderall, and talks about making them unavailable. That would be very difficult, right? That would be medically very difficult.
Yeah, that would be. The issue with these kinds of diagnoses is that they're on a pendulum, and it tends to swing from underdiagnosed to overdiagnosed, but it tends to go toward the middle. And so, people, can, depending upon which side you're on, they can say, oh, we're actually undertreating people, oh, we're actually overtreating people. But to make a blanket, we're going to stop, allowing these medications to be prescribed to people of a certain age or whatever, that's just wrong. You don't do these kinds of decisions with a broadsword. You really need a scalpel and to be very detailed about it. And so, and the other thing that I would say is that, people tend to make broad statements. I don't know whether it's to get attention or it's because that's what they believe, but then when reality comes in and they actually start to modify regulations and things, then it tends to be something, less broad than what they're initially saying. So, it's something to watch, and hopefully the people with the scientific backgrounds and the scientific data to support what they're saying will say, listen, we think that this is the path to go down, and hopefully people will listen to that. That's what's most important.
May I ask you,
Dr. Hall, how long were you? You're still a doctor, but you're no longer active. Is that right?
Correct.
How long was your career?
I graduated from medical school in 1981. So it was a long time.
I'm interested in your perspective here. What was it like when you were going to school or when you first became a doctor versus now? Do you think there is an issue with over-prescribing these kinds of medications? Or do you think, because that's one thing we hear, that we overprescribe these things and that everybody's on a medication. Do you agree with that? Again, that's a very broad brush, but have you seen an increase in the number of, for instance, in this case, children who are on, taking a daily pill to treat some type of a problem?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Jeff, and it's unfortunately a pretty complicated question too. So has there been an increase in the number of prescriptions? Yes. There has also been an increase in the number of people that have been appropriately diagnosed because our testing is better, because we are getting data at much earlier ages, because we are learning more about these diseases. So I believe that a significant amount of the prescriptions that are written are actually appropriate given what is going on with the patient in the moment. Is it also possible that there is some subset where there are people that are getting these medications that, maybe really don't benefit from them as much? I think that's also true. The key is to ferret out what that second population is and to understand where that's coming from. And we can get into things like, direct to consumer marketing for pharmaceuticals and doctors being swayed by what the patient or the parent or whatever wants. I mean, there's a lot of nuances there, but I would say that the answer to your first question is yes. There has been a significant increase from 1981 for sure. In fact, I would say that Adderall wasn't around in 1981. But I think that the majority of them are for appropriate diagnoses, and they actually benefit patients. And there's some percentage, and I don't know what that is. There's some percentage that actually is for is probably what would be described as an overprescription.
We had once had a doctor that they wanted us to bring one of my kids in because they thought they had attention deficit. And when we left, the doctor was trying to prescribe me with attention deficit medicine. So, and that's true. All of us. He was ready to put the whole family on.
And warranted. It's true and warranted.
Get out the door.
Oh, that's funny.
And then I was going to ask, I think it's wait and see. There are people sounding the alarm in the research world saying that cuts are being made. It's cutting off funding to their research. That obviously be something for that would certainly affect me because I'm currently on a trial, and the money in that trial is what pays for the medicine that I currently take. Do you have fears, or do you think this will all correct itself as we move forward? Because obviously, cancer research is a pretty important thing today.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right in that. I do have concerns about it. I don't know if it raises to a level of a fear, but I do have concerns about it. And again, it goes to what I was just talking about in terms of this pendulum swinging. So if the leaders of departments say we're going to do this and we're going to cut off funding and things like that, then that sends ripples down the path, and things start to contract, and the pendulum starts to swing toward having less resources available to do the research, whether it's for cancer or diabetes or neurologic conditions. I mean, you can just list all of the things where really groundbreaking research has been done and continues to be done that could be affected. And so, again, what you want to have cooler heads prevailing. Now, I believe that the scientists will continue to do what they want, what they can, but the issue is that they need the resources. I mean, doing this type of research is just expensive. So
well, I mean, it's very easy to say that we waste a lot of money on this stuff. I mean, that's all anecdotal. And something else that's anecdotal is look how much we can accomplish in saving people's lives when it comes to terrible diseases like cancer, specifically the TKI drugs that are used for leukemia that are literally, it was a complete game changer, saving people's lives and allowing them to live a normal life. So a lot has come out of this research just in the last 25, 30 years. Boy, you'd hate to see that disrupted.
Right, and that is the point. Is there waste? I believe that there probably is, but you don't cut off everything because you believe that there is some waste. What you have to do is you have to identify exactly where that waste is, and then understand why it's waste. Because some waste is actually necessary, especially when you're doing research.
Mm-hmm. All right, Doc. I was going to ask you, it's really too early. We don't know much about it, but China says they've discovered a new COVID that is alarming to them. It's currently in bats. It has not made the progression to humans as of yet. However, alarming for you, or it's a wait and see?
No, this is a wait and see. There are a lot of viruses that are similar to COVID that exist in other species, but cannot at this time make the jump from that species to humans. COVID did that, and so we know that it's possible. Yeah. Bird flu looks like maybe on the brink of it, although it hasn't actually definitely happened yet. So it is something that we have to be aware of because viruses mutate. That we know for sure.
Mike says, I do sometimes laugh to myself, Bill, when you talk about yourself and say living a normal life. I find that funny. Well, I'm probably in agreement with you.
Just one quick follow-up, Doc. Did you say COVID made the jump from animals to humans?
Yeah, so COVID was initially in the I forget exactly what the reservoir was, but it was an animal reservoir, and it made the jump to humans. Now, we can. Now, I don't want to get into
you're going political. You're going
me
No.
whatever.
Yeah.
But it made the jump.
All right.
So.
At some point, whether
and is that COVID or COVID-19 that you were just referring to?
Oh, that's COVID-19.
COVID-19.
Okay, specifically. Okay.
That's the original. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Doc. We appreciate it. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we'll talk again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody.
Right,
Have a
thank
great day, and please be safe.
You do the same. There was one more question. Mike had a question for the Doc. Doc, did you hear about Roberta Flack passing away yesterday? Yes, it was very sad. Mike says, I guess she was killed softly by his song.
Right. Yes.
One time. Davey, we're looking at Hobeika's free money question of the day. And it's worth how much today?
$150.
$150. And you're looking for caller number one right now.
5.
How much today?
$150.
Okay. Oh, you're looking for caller 5. Oh, sorry. I was getting confused. Caller 5.
And how much again?
Look at him roll his eyes at me like,
Smitty.
what an idiot this guy is. Ooh, doggy. Coming up, we'll speak with Todd Carville, DA, Oneida County. And I do want to get into this. Where are we going on the Caitlin Conley case? Are they going to retry? That's one question. My guess is he won't be able to answer that, but he can give us an answer. We'll get into as much as we can. Caller 5 right now. Your chance to win from Hobeika and WIBX is right now.
Want selection on your next mattress? At Mattress Express, we have Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh and Lavish, and more. No one else in New York State has all these brands under one roof, open 7 days a week.
This is Anthony Constantino, CEO of Sticker Mule. I'm a proud Trump supporter, running for Congress for the seat being vacated by Elise Stefanik. I built a successful internet company with nearly 1,000 people in upstate New York. However, much of upstate New York suffers from lack of access to high-speed internet that's necessary to build great companies and enable high-paying remote jobs. In fact, much of our district lacks access to strong, dependable cell phone service too. Of course, we must have both for public safety and to grow the economy. When elected to Congress, I will work quickly with President Trump to fix this problem. With high-speed internet, dependable cell service, and by renewing President Trump's tax cuts, both for businesses and individuals, we will create jobs and return economic prosperity to upstate New York. Follow me, Anthony Constantino, on Facebook today to learn more about my plans to make New York great again. I'm Anthony Constantino, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Constantino for Congress.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journey. Nokian Tires all-weather tires are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow, allowing you to forget the forecast, so you can focus on the road ahead, not the road below. Forget the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. Find Nokian Tires all-weather tires at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, with locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Learn more at tallmanstire.com.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops! Receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried Easy Cater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're gonna need a bigger recycling bin.
Easy Cater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. Order now at easycater.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, we're talking about today's $150. I really want to give money away. From the Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika, 315-724-1600. Coming up, we'll speak with DA Todd Carville. Right now, we're speaking with Kevin from New Hartford. And Kevin, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you ready, Kevin?
You can do it.
Well, I hope so.
All right. You know the deal. You'll have 7 seconds to answer the question. And I love it because today is from the category, I hope you were listening earlier. Bum, bum, bum. Because if you were, this will be easy as can be. All right, here is your question. You ready, Davey? You have 7 seconds to answer. All right, Davey, hold on. You're going to be playing this out of hotkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Can you stop whatever is playing right? You got to stop this from playing.
WIB.
Okay. All right, are you ready now? All right. Okay, are you ready, Kevin? Because we are really not.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, here we go. From the category, I hope you were listening earlier. Earlier, we spoke about the fact that today is National Blank Day. What day is today? Ready, go.
Taco Day. I don't.
That was
I don't
yesterday. Today, we talked about it earlier, and Manaski even knows.
Is it National Quiet Day?
National Quiet Day. Yeah.
National Quiet Day.
Yeah, it's
I
stupid.
know. It's
just
stupid.
Stupid. But the question isn't stupid because if you were listening when we talked about it, probably about 28 minutes ago, you would have heard it and you would have been quiet. He's talking about National Quiet Day, everybody. We're going to give you the $25 food and fun card. It's a gift card good at any of the Comets properties, the Adirondack Bank Center, Pioneers Games, Nexus, Taylor and the Cook, 72 Tavern and Grill, Aquavino, which is so good, Babes, and Davey will hook you up, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, Kevin, thanks so much.
And Kevin, if you're married, try that with your wife tonight. Or your spouse.
Do what? Oh, try the, yeah.
Babe, it's National Quiet Day. Please.
That's right. Please
show a little respect.
Please be quiet. On the line right now is the district attorney in Oneida County, Todd Carville. Todd, good morning.
Good morning, Bill and Jeff.
Good morning.
So we did want to talk about, there's so much going on, of course, coming out of this area, right? I mean, you have become the DA at a time when there's just so much going on here.
Yeah, Oneida County has been very busy, has a history of being busy.
Yeah,
so, but before we start, Bill, if I could just send my condolences to the friends and family of prominent attorney Les Lewis, who passed away unexpectedly this weekend. He was a well-respected attorney, and I had a really good relationship with him. I'm going to miss him. He was a great man.
Yeah. I came across him a couple of times, and yes, he was a good man, a great attorney. No, great man, great attorney, no doubt about it. So, okay, I appreciate that. And so, where are you now? You have what? Correct me if I'm wrong. You have 30 days to decide if you're going to proceed. What's the number of days you have?
No, so if bail had been set by Judge Clark, we would have had 45 days before we would have to revisit her bail status for representment of the case. Now there really is no firm timeline. However, I've kind of self-imposed a timeline. I'm looking for the end of March, middle of April, for us to have made a decision.
To make a decision. And I do want to go back to that hearing when Caitlin Conley was set free. I did watch. I saw the whole thing, and I did feel for you because you. I'm not sure we all understand this. What goes through the minds of a prosecutor and of a judge and a defense attorney? What's going through everybody's minds? But I'm assuming you had your interpretation of the decision by the appellate court. You had your interpretation of the law, and the judge completely had a different interpretation. What was going through your mind during all of that? And I'm assuming it had to be frustrating.
Yeah, I guess that's my position is that bail could have been set, but my job is to advocate for the people of the state of New York, and that was the position that I felt was appropriate from our perspective. And I understand that that's the way this goes. It's an adversarial system. Defense has their arguments, and the judge makes the final decision. So I respect the decision. However, I did disagree with the feeling that it certainly wasn't unconstitutional. There's a statute that allows for it pre-trial, for the holding of somebody when a indictment is dismissed. So I took a little offense to the defense making that argument. However, again, ultimately, it's the judge's decision, and I respect the court's decision.
Do you agree with the technicality that really is what set her free?
I really can't answer that. I understand the decision of the appellate division, and that's the system that we have, and they. It really comes down to whether or not they believe whether or not it was such an egregious error on the part of defense counsel to deny Caitlin Conley a fair trial.
Yeah.
Their decision was that was the case, and so I understand where they're coming from that perspective. Obviously, the argument would be that it was harmless error, but that's what our review is going through, is to determine how impactful that evidence was to the trial and to the case, and so we'll move on from there.
Do you, based on where we are today, and I know this is a question that you probably can't answer, so I'd like to phrase it in a way that maybe you can, but maybe you can't. There's a great intro to a question, right? So I'm wondering, she was sentenced to 23 years in state prison. And based on what people are sentenced today, based on crimes, based on the sentences of people today, in our current climate, do you think by today's standards, 23 years would be excessive?
That was a situation that would have occurred during the initial appeal to determine whether or not the sentence was harshly excessive. Right. So that's kind of the appellate division's purview with respect to that. They ruled at that time that it was not.
But my question is based on today's standards, where we're dealing with all sorts of reforms and craziness coming out of New York City, with Democrats in New York City. So by today's standards, right now, do you feel that if this trial were held today, that 23 years would be excessive?
Again, I think that's something that the court takes into consideration, all the factors that went into it. And, each case is different with respect to what the evidence is. And, you can't just say for manslaughter in the first degree, is this a harsh and excessive sentence? You have to look at the entirety of the fact of the case.
Let me rephrase it. There's two guys walking into a bar, and I'm trying here.
Quiet there.
All right, we'll leave that one alone. It's really incredible and again, I think you have to kind of step away from this, and it's a little easier for you, although not now, but because you weren't a part of the original two trials. But we get several attorneys here through Fox News. Oftentimes they're regular guests that come on, and we tip them off to this case, and one of them was just like, this is one of the most intriguing cases I've ever seen. He's an attorney and a defense attorney, a very popular defense attorney in Texas, and he said, this is one of the most incredible cases I've ever seen. When you look at the scope of this and then where it's all gone, and now potentially looking at a third trial, would you agree this is enormous and abnormal, this case?
Yes. I think the national attention kind of shows how abnormal it is and how, I guess, fascinating it is for the country or for the news outlets for their coverage of it. But, each case, to me, has victims, and we try to do our best to see justice through.
It's also interesting, too, I would think that the court system is an adversarial system where you have two sides battling it out, and you have the judge in the middle, and some people would say, a technicality, that's ridiculous. I can't believe someone can be let go on a technicality. But you take that very, very seriously as a prosecutor, and certainly the defense would take that seriously as well. A technicality can mean it is important for our system to work properly, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's why, like I say, I obviously you have a certain feeling about a decision. However, when you really look to it, you look for whether or not it was a fair decision or not, and then you live with that decision, and you accept that decision, and you move on from there. And and that's what our goal is to reevaluate the evidence and move forward. If we believe that the evidence shows that we can.
And then we're speaking, by the way, with Todd Carville, the United County District Attorney, in regards to the Caitlin Connolly case, which could possibly be tried a third time. A lot of complications. Obviously, you're going to have to find the right judge for this. Not you specifically, but a judge will have to be appointed to this. You have to find the right person to prosecute the case. Would you prosecute it personally?
It depends, but there's so much that goes on a daily basis with the amount of effort that would need to be put into this case. It would be tough to balance both running the office and
prosecuting. And then I would ask you: is there anything you can tell us now that would not be admissible? I mean, how difficult does the fact that there were two previous trials and an appellate overturn of the case, how difficult does that make this next trial? And specifically, could you tell us anything that is not going to be able to be admissible?
Well, based on the appellate division's decision, they spoke to the fact that the cell phone and any evidence from that cell phone should have been suppressed. So that's the starter. And then we have to look at any evidence that was derived from the use of the information from that phone to determine if that would also be suppressed. So that's the evaluation we're making at this point.
Yeah.
Obviously, during the case, that would be, if it were to be represented and re-indicted, that's for a judge to make that decision.
All right. As always, we appreciate it, Todd. We'll do it again soon. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Take care, gentlemen.
Todd Carville. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journey. Nokian Tire's all-weather tires are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow, allowing you to forget the forecast so you can focus on the road ahead, not the road below. Forget the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. Find Nokian Tire's all-weather tires at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, with locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Learn more at tallmanstire.com.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops! Receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried EasyCater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're gonna need a bigger recycling bin.
EasyCater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
If they didn't reply, they're being given a second chance. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Doge's Elon Musk giving federal workers another chance to respond, warning if they don't, they'll be fired. after last night's first deadline passed. To reply to Musk's initial demand, they send an email justifying their jobs.
The response rate was pretty low to that email, considering that the Office of Personnel Management told the people that they manage, federal workers, they did not have to reply to it. It was optional to send back 5 things that they did last week. And so now Elon Musk is saying the email request was utterly trivial, as the standard for passing the test was to type some words and press send. Yet, so many failed even that inane test.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House. House Republicans are planning a vote on the Trump agenda.
So the way to do that is with one big, beautiful bill.
House Speaker Mike Johnson pushing a budget blueprint resolution with more funding for the border and the military, extending the 2017 Trump tax cuts tied to more than $1 trillion in spending cuts to Medicaid and other programs. Democratic Congressman Brendan Boyle says,
this budget is a Republican betrayal of the middle class. It guts the very programs millions of Americans rely on.
There's continued pushback to the Trump immigration and customs enforcement raids targeting people here illegally who've committed crimes.
Fox News has learned anti-ICE activists have been banding together to interfere with ICE operations in the Los Angeles area. They've even gone so far as to put up posters featuring images and personal information of ICE officers working in Southern California to warn migrants ahead of time.
Fox's Sue Guzman. Now an update on Pope Francis, who still remains in critical condition in Rome. Fox's Lauren Green reports from there.
The Pope slept well last night, and we're told he's even watching some TV a little bit. Doctors said last night the Holy Father's clinical conditions in their critical state show a slight improvement.
The 88-year-old Pope is battling pneumonia and kidney issues. America's listening to Fox News.
When you hear the term living better, what do you think about? More money? A bigger house? Maybe a yacht? What about how you feel physically? How you wake up each day? How you sleep? What activities you can and cannot do? When you feel good, life is good. So if pain is affecting your life, see how Relief Factor can help. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, it doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or even eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So give their 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call, 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're hurting, in 3 weeks or even days, Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
How to end the war in Ukraine. That was a big topic yesterday, marking 3 years since Russia invaded, and there were rifts between the U.S. and our allies at the UN. The Security Council approved an American-backed resolution that did not label Russia as the aggressor, prompting the UK and France to abstain. State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce tells Fox.
This is not a zero-sum game. It's not the end result. This is the beginning of an effort to stop the carnage that everyone agrees this has been a horrible war.
France's president went to the White House. Emmanuel Macron called President Trump a game changer, even as European leaders are wary of the U.S. and Russia negotiating.
I think it's good to have discussion. I think it's useful to have negotiation. I think it's super important to go to the peace.
This as the U.S. pushes a different deal with Ukraine to share profits from their natural resources.
President Trump says Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky could come to Washington next week to sign an agreement for U.S. access and development of rare earth minerals.
Where we get our money back over a period of time, but it also gives us something where I think it's very beneficial to their economy, to them as a country.
President Trump has described the deal as one way for the U.S. to recoup military aid sent to Ukraine. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
An ex-Secret Service agent has died, made famous in President Kennedy's assassination in Dallas in 1963.
He was the Secret Service agent who leaped onto the back of JFK's limousine as it fled following the historic shooting. Hill died Friday at age 93 at his home in Belvedere, California, more than 6 decades after the assassination. He said the events haunted his memories, telling others he blamed himself for Kennedy's death, adding he did not react quickly enough. Tom Graham, Fox News.
Again, Clint Hill was 93. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed up for the Dow, down for the NASDAQ. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 34 degrees, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time. is 8:05. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. A 10th guard now charged in connection with the death of an inmate at Marcy Correctional Facility. Yesterday, Nicholas Keeler appeared in Oneida County Court. He was arraigned on a murder charge and other charges as well. He's accused of being part of the group in that brutal assault of inmate Robert Brooks that resulted in Brooks' death. It was ruled a homicide. The attack was captured on video. Other suspects arrested in the case will appear before a judge again next month. Meanwhile, a 61-year-old inmate died over the weekend at one of the state prisons where National Guard troops have been deployed to replace corrections officers who walked off the job. Jonathan Grant, who was serving a 34 to 40-year sentence for rape and burglary, was pronounced dead on Saturday. He was found unresponsive in his cell at the Auburn Correctional Facility. Information on Grant's death was not immediately available. Not clear if the prison staffing situation and the strike were a factor in his death, but the public defender's office there says they provided legal counsel to Grant and expressed concern after his passing. Cleanup efforts continuing in Oswego County. They got several feet of snow, and thus far, 42 structural collapses being blamed on that heavy snow sitting on roofs. Officials say if you hear any cracking or popping noises while you're inside your home, you should evacuate immediately. And thinking of brighter, warmer days, the Boilermaker registration is still open. Go to Boilermaker.com. If you have not signed up yet, Boilermaker weekend is July 11th through the 13th, and the race will be run on Sunday the 13th. We have mostly cloudy skies, 34 degrees. Here's your forecast from Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic.
More 40-plus degree temperatures the next couple of days, but winter's not over yet. That's just a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. March can be quite a month. A few showers around today. Should do about 40, a little bit milder. Overnight tonight, a chance of showers, maybe some snow showers, 32. Cloudy tomorrow, upper 30s, and more showers of rain early Thursday with a high in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Again, cloudy and 34 at 8:08. All right, in sports, the Giants adding to their coaching staff. The Giants have hired Liddell Betts as their new running backs coach. Betts was the running backs coach for Iowa the past 5 seasons. This is his first job in the NFL. He spent 9 years in the league as a player with both Washington and New Orleans. One of the Yankees' top sluggers is back here in New York. Giancarlo Stanton is undergoing some medical testing. It's unclear whether the testing is for an evaluation on his elbows. Stanton has yet to participate in spring training as he continues to recover from tendonitis in both of his elbows. A member of the Denver Broncos coaching staff facing serious legal issues. It's alleged that outside linebackers coach Michael Wilhoit assaulted a Denver police officer over the weekend at Denver International Airport, punching him in the face. The 38-year-old was arrested and booked in Denver jail on Sunday on a no-bond hold. One team in the NFL is proposing elimination of the tush push. Unclear exactly which team that is, but the NFL owners will have a chance to go over rules and consider the elimination of the tush push at their annual meeting coming up next month. And Syracuse,
Davey, I heard it was the Green Bay Packers. Have you heard that?
Yes, I have.
You have. Are you disagreeing with me, or did you really hear it?
I agree with you.
Okay. All right. He's agreeing with me.
Interesting. We talked about it earlier this morning. And then I wanted to mention here, Syracuse basketball on a 3-game losing streak. They're 11-16. They host NC State tomorrow night. And Smitty, that game is on
ESPNU.
There we go. He can't hear me, can he?
What is it on? Well, turn your mic on, and then I can hear you.
I don't have no headphones.
Oh, you don't. You don't have any headphones. He's asking you what channel is the Syracuse game on tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. 7 o'clock on ESPNU. I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you, Davey. Thank you. Davey is the man. All right, I have a lot to get to. You want to talk about, okay, we have a busy hour, so I got to really organize the hour.
Yes.
You want to talk about what?
Well, I just wanted to mention here,
Just
Chuck
give me the
Lester
topic.
replied.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
Chuck
just
Lester.
the topic. And I want to go over the Musk thing again.
We'll get into that and Manasseh
just quick.
on Musk. Okay, so stand by. I also have an amazing story on artificial intelligence, which, by the way, is being used. We could tie that into the Musk thing.
Scares me.
It's being used,
So scared of
they
it.
say, to help determine if these jobs are important enough to keep. That these are necessities, these jobs. When they fill out there, what did you do in the last 5 days? We'll get to that. Also this hour, Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Davey, what's he talking about this morning? Ryan Schmelz. What's he talking about this morning?
The Elon Musk deal.
Okay, the Elon Musk
All right,
thing.
I can hear you.
Oh, you can. You're good now. Thank you. And then John Zogby coming up. The least popular presidents, there's been a new poll. The least popular presidents in the United States of America. Any idea who they may be?
I think one of them might be Joe Biden.
You think?
I think so.
You're probably going to be right, I think. We'll see. We'll get to it coming up. It is funny how, as the years go on, the least popular presidents tend to move their way up the ladder.
Right.
Like Jimmy Carter
Everyone's
was.
gonna give- yep.
And all of a sudden, people are like, wow.
Wasn't that bad?
Come on.
He didn't ruin the world.
We'll get into all of it coming up. But John Zogby is coming up next at WIBX.
Scott and Jill here from New York Sash. Honey, this time of year has me thinking about falling in love.
Aw, Scott, that's beautiful. We are celebrating our silver wedding anniversary this year.
Well, actually, I was talking about falling in love with your home. So many customers come to us who need help showing their house some appreciation.
Seriously? The house? The house is the heart of the family, and it definitely deserves the love.
And now, New York Sash is making it easier than ever. For a limited time, siding installation is 50% off.
That's right, 50% off our siding installation. Choose traditional vinyl or new engineered wood siding with hundreds of colors, textures, and styles to choose from, with free design services and financing available.
So whether you want a sleek modern look or classic charm, you can have the home that's the envy of the neighborhood, just in time for summer.
Nothing makes you love your home more than a gorgeous, fresh exterior.
Ready to fall in love with your home again? Call New York Sash today and let's get started. Stop by our showroom in Whitesboro or check us out at newyorksash.com.
The President's Day sales are on at Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on names like Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, Stearns & Foster, Purple, and Puffy. Go to mattressexpressny.com for locations.
The big Spring New York State RV Show is back at the State Fairgrounds February 27th through March 2nd. It's the ultimate RV shopping experience with over 400 models and 100 different brands to choose from. And with 9 dealers competing for your business, it's the place to buy. Whether you're looking for a travel trailer, motorhome, or fifth wheel, you'll find it at the Spring New York State RV Show. Get your tickets at nysrvshow.com. Sponsored by the New York State RV Dealers Association of Syracuse.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops! Receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried Easy Cater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're gonna need a bigger recycling bin.
Easy Cater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. Order now at easycater.com.
CDC recommends that people age 65 and older and those with moderate or severe immunocompromise should receive a second dose of seasonal COVID-19 vaccine 2 to 6 months after their last dose. Learn more and make an appointment at KinneyDrugs.com. Walk-ins are also welcome at all Kinney pharmacies.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops! Receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried Easy Cater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're gonna need a bigger recycling bin.
EasyCater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. Order now at easycater.com.
Hey, Central New York, this is Will Kane of The Will Kane Show, and you can now hear my show every weekday at WIBX. I do things a little differently when I'm behind the microphone because I turn it over to the listeners to learn and really dig into the issues that impact everyday Americans. The Will Kane Show lets you keep ahead of the headlines and understand what's really going on in the world with in-depth discussions from leading experts and the brightest minds. From politics to sports, nothing is off topic. Listen to The Will Kane Show weekdays at 6, only on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
It is very interesting to see as we poll these things who was the least favorite, least popular president, who was the most favored president, and it is also interesting to see as the years go on how that kind of changes. We become, less critical as the years go on.
It becomes water under the bridge.
Listen, I talked to one Trump hater yesterday who said, listen, I'd take anybody over, bring back the president I hated the most, and I'll take that president over what we have right now. I mean, that's how people feel depending on the side. And then there are people on the side like Claudia Tenney who's ready to make him, like, put him on Mount Rushmore. Let's celebrate his birthday. Let's put him up on one of those, you know how they used to in the ancient times, carry him on those two sticks with and then you got the little top like the king would go through. Get some slaves to That's one of her proposals. I'm not sure that is. The reality is some people love him so much. Other people hate him so much. I do think that there are very few people in the middle when it comes to Donald Trump.
There's no question.
Yeah. Here is the one and only John Zogby. And John, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Hi, how are you?
Good. And would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Just like that.
No, there's no in between.
There is no in between.
There are few people who are not sure, and that's mainly because they hate whoever it is they hate, and they're just not.
Yeah.
Just have mixed feelings about the other.
I also there were many people, I think, in this last election that said, I wish Trump would be quiet. I wish he would just, be more presidential. But compared to what we just came out of, I like his policies. I wonder where those people are right now and where they will be in 30 days and in 60 days.
Well, what's interesting is that, we follow polls, but we go right back to our own community, our own context, our own friends, and this is the sort of thing that my profession kind of acts against, which is, well, everybody in the barber shop hates his guts.
Right.
Everybody at the beauty parlor just loves him. Now, the fact of the matter is we're pretty much right back to where we were, except there is a little bit of a Trump bump. I had him a job approval at the beginning of this month at 49 approved, 48 disapproved.
Yeah.
Which incidentally was the same exact numbers in the popular vote. We're in the field right now, so I don't know for sure, but every other poll, has it just about even. And in the last 5-6 days, you're seeing Trump under 50, approval over 50, disapproval. But bottom line, we're not only stuck, at about 50-50 thereabouts, but the intensity level on both sides is very high.
I have Joe here now. Joe, I don't know what planet you're on, but I'll let John. Bill, 78 million people support Trump. He's doing what voters want. He has a 70% approval rating. Have you seen 70% out there, John?
I have not seen 70%. Joe may be referring to
Republicans.
His approval rating among Republicans.
Right.
But no, general public is 50-50 for Trump at best.
Yeah.
He's slightly upside down right now.
Yeah, and the and the other part of this is I keep hearing mandate. The reality is this was a very, very it may look differently with the Electoral College, but in terms of the vote, this was a very, very close vote.
Yeah, it was. It was 49.4 to 48.1. I mean, that's pretty close.
And with that, John, what I would say is for the upcoming midterms and, what happens in after this 4 years is over, it is something that the Republican strategists have to be looking at, that when this is all said and done at the end of 2 years, you want to be at a place where people are happy with the job that has been done with the current administration because it's so tight, it's so close.
Exactly, and we have midterms coming up. We have a few special elections coming up that are, those are mainly Republican districts, but we're going to be looking very closely to see if the Republican in each of those races does better than the incumbent had done in 2024. So, there are bellwethers, but at least for now, I don't fault Trump for claiming a mandate because, as you pointed out, he did eke by in the popular vote, but there was the Electoral College.
Yeah, it was a big win there.
And as tight as things may be, he did, in quotes, win the House, won the Senate, and he's got the Supreme Court. But certainly I don't know that you can make a case for a radical mandate at all. And that's where I think it's only a question of time before this really blows up.
I do think the Elon Musk thing is very interesting because it has given Republicans something to complain about when their constituents at home are complaining to them about the fact that all of their neighbors just lost their job. In certain sections of the country, you're beginning to see Republicans come out negatively on Elon Musk, but not on President Trump.
No, that's interesting. You can make the argument that the president created a lightning rod for himself to deflect, all of the heat, so to speak, on Musk. It's only a matter of time before Musk and Trump have a major falling out, simply because Musk's position and his persona just are not sustainable like this. And as you point out, you don't dare go to Congress with the elimination of agencies or the major budget cuts, because sure, that's going to impact every congressional district in the country, or at least key Republican districts in the country, and no congressman can afford to shut down an agency that has a regional headquarters and employs 1,500 people.
This is where one would say there was a much easier path, and that would be to, carefully make cuts, push through your one big beautiful bill, and if you focused on take care of the border, which it looks like he certainly stopped the people that are coming to this country. He shut it almost completely off. If he would just focus there, but then it's the rest of it is on steroids, and it does risk the chance, I would think, of angering those Republicans who are not completely locked in.
Oh, I think that's a given. And remember, he can't lose 3 votes in the House of Representatives, and it's easy to see how he can lose more than that.
Do you feel Democrats are overusing the phrase constitutional crisis? That was a big topic over the weekend on the Sunday programs.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, and this is not a criticism of the American people, but Americans have a lot more on their minds than whether or not the Constitution is being adhered to.
Yeah.
That's like going to your local organization and spending an hour and a half debating the bylaws. when the reality is, there's other business, there's a program to be taken care of, and there's interesting things that make you get out of your house.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that a constitutional crisis is not a crisis, but what does that have to do with the price of eggs?
Yeah, and I'm not sure the average person, number one, pays attention or completely understands the ins and outs of the legal interpretation of the Constitution.
I think that the Democrats just are flailing right now, just can't find their message.
Yeah.
Chuck Schumer had a massive conference call with members of the Democratic National Committee late last week, and he was saying, we're going to go after billionaires. We're going to talk about their paying their fair share of taxes. Well, I have polled for years on the issue of billionaires. Americans do not hate them, resent them. Actually, they see the concept of billionaires as a person who's made it, who is to
isn't
be
that the
emulated,
American dream?
Yeah,
and appreciated, and don't see the connection. So if Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and so on pay their fair share of taxes, and yes, amen, they should pay their fair share of taxes, what's that got to do with me?
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly,
and the thing that is baffling is you just got beat
yes.
by a president who was the most polarized we've had in modern times. You just got beat, and the rhetoric is still the same rhetoric that it's been for the last 30 years. And you're losing middle America. At what point do you look in the mirror and say, what we're doing right now isn't working? We've got to really reconnect with people here.
Yeah. One can make the argument, that Barack Obama had put together a winning coalition for himself. It could not be translated into the elections of 2010, 2014, where, frankly, Democrats got shellacked.
Yeah.
And not only congressional races, but they lost state legislatures and governors' mansions all over the country. What is the winning message and coalition?
Yeah.
And interestingly, you did see Trump increase his support among blacks and Hispanics, and I think those are the groups that he's going to have a very difficult time sustaining support. I think, there was a protest vote against the Democrats, against the sense that, hey, you guys, the Democrats, you've been taking advantage of us and our vote, far too long. And yes, many of us have climbed into the middle class, have more conservative values, but back to Trump, I think it's going to be very hard, for him to justify such a radical program.
And then
I think it'll blow up.
And then finally, your topic today, we talked about everything but, and that is polling on least popular presidents. What can you tell us?
Well, the two ways of looking at it, one is that, like Richard Nixon, very controversial, left with a very bad reputation and legacy. Gerald Ford just not getting enough votes, to be an outstanding president, caretaker. So two in the bottom position for two different reasons. And Joe Biden. America's angry at Joe Biden.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I would think that one of the most amazing mistakes he and Democrats made was realizing his decline and still pushing forward for him to run again.
Yeah, absolutely. I've thought about this a lot. It's a tragic personal sort of thing. Who goes in and tells you can't run? No one but your wife. And she's all for his running.
Yeah.
But you got the fate of the world in your hands, and he was not even in a position to sell to the American people some of the positives that he had attained. It's a tragic story. I suspect he'll be rehabilitated later on down the road, much like Jimmy Carter and Lyndon Johnson have been rehabilitated. But at least for now, Americans are kind of in an unforgiving mood.
Mike says even Richard Nixon is not as hated as he used to be.
Richard Nixon's not hated as much as he used to be. It's not quite a renaissance for him, but he's moved up the line. First, by virtue of the fact that there are just some really bad presidents out there, Buchanan, Pierce, who are always going to hold up the bottom. The other is Nixon had a worldview. He had a vision. Agree or disagree with his foreign policy, he had a clear, elucidated foreign policy. And there wasn't anybody around who would say, oh, Nixon doesn't know what he's talking about, especially in foreign policy.
I got to tell you, with the release of the tapes, these are tapes of Nixon and Kissinger talking about the strategy for being reelected, and it was a huge reelection for them. But hearing them talk about Vietnam, that they would wait until a good 6 to 8 months after the election because they needed to get reelected to end the war. Think of how many people died from that meeting till the war, till people were actually brought home.
I do. I remember it well. A lot of people did, and it was not only on our side, but there was the intense Christmas bombing of Hanoi. Too many people died. Too many people.
As always, John, we appreciate your insight. Thank you so much.
Good to talk to you. Take care now.
Thanks. John Zogby with Zogby Strategies. Coming up, Ryan Schmelz on Elon Musk. We'll just keep it going. And Manaski, of course, has a list of things. This is your final morning with us till the next time. So he's got some stuff he's got to get off his chest. And we'll get to it after news and Ryan Schmelz coming up at WIBX.
A Mohawk Valley tradition returns on Friday, March 7th, when the WIBX Heart Radiothon goes live from Utica University. Doctors from Radiothon sponsor Slocum Dixon Medical Group will share ways we can stay healthy. We'll hear from treadmill challengers as they face off against each other. And Red Cap ambassadors to America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk will remind us why we support the American Heart Association. Of course, we'll have special incentives to thank you for your donations. Be sure and tune in.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
We have mostly cloudy skies, up to 37 degrees. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:32. The United Nations is condemning Russia for the war in Ukraine, but the U.S. is not going along with the move. The resolution that also calls for the occupied territory to be returned to Ukraine passed on the third anniversary of Russia's invasion. The U.S. voted against it alongside 17 other countries, including Russia, North Korea, and Belarus. China has been a close ally of Russia. They abstained from the vote. The Vatican sharing another update on Pope Francis. They say the leader of the Roman Catholic Church had another restful night in the hospital last night. The pontiff has been hospitalized in Rome for well over a week with bronchitis and pneumonia. The latest statement from the Vatican expressed the Pope's gratitude to the people who have gathered to pray for his health. A 10th guard charged in Oneida County Court yesterday, arraigned on a murder and other charges. Nicholas Keefer is accused of being involved in the brutal assault of Robert Brooks in December that resulted in Brooks' death. It was ruled a homicide. And with egg prices skyrocketing, egg smuggling is on the rise. Customers and Border Protection says there's been a surge of nearly 30% in attempts to bring eggs across the border, southern border. Bringing raw and fresh eggs to the U.S. is prohibited because of the risk of spreading disease. Meanwhile, egg prices have been soaring as bird flu has left the nation's poultry decimated.
We've started eating robin eggs for breakfast.
Ramen eggs?
Robin eggs.
Robin.
They're a little smaller, but, I'm on a diet, so it works perfectly for me.
Well, the snowpack is a little bit smaller after the weather we had yesterday, and we're looking a little above 40 today. Here's full details from Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic.
More 40-plus degree temperatures the next couple of days, but winter's not over yet. That's just a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. March can be quite a month. A few showers around today. Should do about 40, a little bit milder. Overnight tonight, a chance of showers, maybe some snow showers, 32. Cloudy tomorrow, upper 30s, and more showers of rain early Thursday with a high in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy and 37 at 8:35.
Okay. Oh, this is for Lucia, little Harlem Globetrotters there. Let me go to Ryan Schmelz, Fox News Radio, standing by right now. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good. We're talking about Elon Musk, the telling federal workers. I think the mixed messaging is a real problem here. Everybody's saying something different, but Musk is back saying that the first one was basically the first try. Second try, you really need to respond to, and this is all part of his spending cuts with Doge. What do you make of all of it, Ryan Schmelz?
Yeah, I think mixed messaging is kind of a good way of putting it, because you've already had people saying they're not going to comply with it, but now he's saying that, no, we're going to send out another email and they have to respond or it's going to result in termination.
Brilliant.
But, what is this going to lead to? Is this going to lead to a potential showdown with, some of Donald Trump's, workers? Is there going to be a legal issue here? And, but, are the ones that have said that they want their employees to comply, are they going to have to comply? There's a lot that's to it right now, especially when you got so many agencies saying you don't respond to this email.
Right. Even Marco Rubio saying do not respond. In some of these agencies, you can understand you're dealing with national security.
Yeah, sensitive information certainly plays into some of them. So that might be one of the factors. I think until we get one of them out there and have them actually, speak out and say what their direction's going to be, I think that kind of is up in the air. One thing that's interesting, I believe the email that Kash Patel had responded to is that he said that personnel decisions were going to be made by him and his agency alone and Donald Trump, not Elon Musk, essentially. That's kind of, I believe, the response that he put out.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then the part of this is, what does it mean? Are we talking about is AI going, this was also part of the mixed messaging. Will it be AI that's going to read all of these emails? This will be a lot of emails to get through to determine if your job is important enough to keep. Can we trust AI at this point?
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair question to ask. Elon Musk is a big AI proponent. He's talked about using it for fighter jets and for other things. So, is he going to be? Is that going to be the judgment here to whether or not he gets through or not?
Yeah, and then I would ask you, Ryan, your take on what you're hearing. As a lot of Republicans, as they've gone home, they're going home to town halls where they're getting beat up a little bit on this. And this is not targeting just Democrats. It's targeting Republicans who are, this could be somewhat problematic for Republicans.
Certainly. I mean, you have Speaker Johnson making the accusation that these are operatives. It's Democrats organizing to go to these town halls and make a lot of noise. There's been a number of people who've made that accusation at this point. So one thing that's interesting is that maybe the Republican that had the most viral town hall so far was Rich McCormick. He didn't really make that accusation. He just kind of said, you know what, this is what we deal with. There were Democrats who had to deal with this when President Biden first got in office. We saw this in 2016. It was just kind of part of the job.
Yeah. Okay, very interesting. We'll see where it all goes. Ryan Schmelz, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Have a good day.
You do the same. Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. All right, quick break. Manaski has big questions. I also have something that's going to blow your mind when it comes to AI. And maybe it shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't be surprised when you see this. But it's true, and I have it for you next on WIBX.
I went in for a regular prostate screening, and my lab results showed my PSA level were elevated.
We repeated the lab test, and the second test came back elevated too. We did a biopsy, and the biopsy showed cancer in certain areas of Philip's prostate.
Dr. Ba performed a prostatectomy at Wayne Hospital using robotic surgery to remove the cancer.
We were able to cure him with smaller incisions, and he had a quick recovery.
Since the surgery, all my PSA level has been normal. I am proof that early detection can prevent something far worse.
I had been lifting something heavy, felt a tinge in my back. I also had some shortness of breath, but thought it was due to what I figured was some kind of muscle pull. I was wrong.
The episodes of pain that Ray was experiencing were actually small heart attacks. The Wynn Emergency Department was able to provide immediate life-saving care to Ray's heart.
If it wasn't for the amazing team at Wynn, I might not be here at all. I feel indebted to everyone who helped make Wynn Hospital a reality so I can get the immediate care I needed right when I needed it.
Thank you for giving my daddy back home.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and servicing Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, Mike is asking, is Manasseh on Ozempic? He's looking like slim and trim and ready for the treadmill challenge at the Heart Run and Walk Heart Radiothon. What do you think?
Did you just do that just to get a plug in there?
No, I got a message.
He's got a blurry screen then.
Okay, all right.
I wish I was trimmer than I am. That's for sure. But thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm going through
I've
everything.
been fatter before.
Everything you can eat on, everything you possibly can eat on keto, and it's an awful diet. You know, I look at these freaking people that are just skinny naturally, eating their Big Macs and give me another sub sandwich. I'm done with my sub. Let me eat a whole pizza. They make me sick.
I do love sandwiches.
Yeah.
You know, of all kinds. And whether it's a burger or, but even just like a ham and cheese sandwich, something like that. It's the bread.
It is the bread.
And I don't know.
A lot of places are doing bowls now where you do no bread and they do in the bowl. By the way, I do have to give you credit. You were brought up in East Utica. Mm-hmm. And you came out without saying sandwich.
Sandwich, yeah, that's true.
You did it. Congratulations.
One of my funniest movie lines that I've ever heard, I love it, and it's a shame that I don't even know what movie it was, but it's two fat, alleged mob guys watching a guy who's in a hotel room. They're sitting out in the hallway. They're kind of watching the room, and he goes, I'm gonna run down to the front desk there and get something to eat. You want something? He goes, they got any low-fat sandwiches? He goes, yeah, it's called a half a sandwich.
Grammy Award winner Roberta Flack died yesterday. She was 88 years old. One of her best-known songs, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, was originally not a hit until this actor asked to have it during his directorial debut in the movie in 1971. Play Misty for Me, and that was Clint Eastwood. He was directing on that. Here's Roberta Flack and Clint Eastwood talking about it. Here we go.
The song was out there, it had been out there, and every now and then you'd hear it on the radio, but it did not have the wide acceptance until people could associate something visual with it.
I wanted to do a nice idyllic scene where he was sort of reconciling with the girlfriend. I heard the Roberta Flack song on the radio, and I said, oh yeah, this tells the story.
He called me in Virginia. That was a big thrill for my mom. Yeah. And we talked, and he said he wanted to use it, and I said no. By this time, I had become a little bit commercially concerned about what people were going to hear. And I said, it's too long. I'd like to, to do it again. He said, no, I'd like to use it. So I said, well, take the first 8 or 16 bars out. You don't need that piano intro. He said, I want every note, every breath. First time ever I saw your face.
Anyway, Mike says, I don't know that Manaski got my joke.
It went right over my head.
She died by someone killed her softly with his song. Did you get that?
No, I got that.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Roberta Flack won the 74 Grammy for Record of the Year and Best Female Pop Vocal Performance for her song, Killing Me Softly with His Song.
Killing Me Softly with His Song. I had gone out to California to do a special. Got on the plane, and I opened the brochure that describes what music you can select, and there's a song, Killing Me Softly with His Song. And I listened to it about 5 times before the plane landed. 2 weeks later, went on tour with Quincy Jones, and they wanted an encore, and Quincy said, Ro, do something. I said, well, I have this new song I've been working on. So I started, strumming my pain with his fingers. After I finished, the audience would not stop screaming. And Quincy said, Ro, don't sing that daggone song no more until you record it.
Wow. That's pretty big, right? And then, of course, who recorded that song later?
The Fugees?
The Fugees. Yeah, it was a big hit. Manaski, I'm going to get to this AI thing that's going to blow your mind. I love it, too. But Manaski has
I hate it, the AI. So Chuck Lester sent another text message. Can I just share it? And then I just want to give a quick example, and then I'm done bashing Trump because I do like a lot of the stuff he's doing, if I'm being completely honest.
Did you vote? Would you reveal who you voted for?
I did vote for Trump.
Okay.
Sometimes when people tell me, there's some folks who hate Trump, and I get that, and they were never going to vote for him. But I just don't understand sometimes what I get that the Trump hatred, but some of the things that Kamala Harris said and some of the things that were allowed to happen under the Biden administration, I just don't. It's just like we talked about. If Trump did these things, people would go nuts, and if Biden, people are just too tied to their own teams. Just please, folks, wake up and make judgments.
All right, so Chuck Lester.
Okay, yeah, he says, for you to say, this is a follow-up because you guys were going back and forth a little bit, and this is on the Elon Musk email. He says, for you to say that I don't have an original thought, when you repeat the talking points that you get from MSNBC, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS.
This is making an assumption. I watch everything, and I'm not repeating any talking points. I don't know about you, Chuck, but apparently you need help to be able to put your thoughts together. I don't. I pass my own judgment. I don't use any other programming. These are original thoughts. You're not going to hear me repeat some talking points from Sunday because I don't do that. And take it for what you want. Be angry, but these are my... I know it's going to shock you because you can't identify with it. Original thoughts.
He says it's
my conclusions. Now, someday, what I would do, here's what I would do for Chuck. Chuck, we'll do a little class here in studio. You come in, and I'll show you how to do it. You let me know when you can come in.
He said it's a clear, it's the clear definition of projection. But you've already answered that.
No.
Accusing others of what you are doing. It can't. I can't be a parrot because I have hair. Bless your heart. I don't get that.
Oh, he's making the fact that I don't know about you, but I do have hair. I still think it's growing back.
I think it's getting a little thicker.
It's getting thicker. No, it's not.
So just as one example, look, in his previous text, Chuck said something along the lines of, I actually have it right here. If I worked at WIBX, he was saying this tongue-in-cheek, don't you dare ask me what I'm doing while I'm, quote, working from home. I just want to say, I'll use the DMV as an example. I'll use my job now at FedEx. If somebody at FedEx, like corporate, came to me and said, I want to know 5 things that you accomplished last week, I would say, I drive the truck and drop off packages. That's what you pay me for.
Yeah.
If I worked at the DMV, I would say, I help customers. There's a line out the door every day. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't think, and this is different in different departments, but just to send that out blanket, unless somebody's assigned or working on a special project, they're probably just dealing with customers, helping people file claims, or, it depends on what department they're in. What it really made me think of is the micromanagement, and
Well, then you've got AI they're trying to use AI to determine whether or not this job is important enough to keep. And we've already seen mistakes are being made all over the country with jobs that you got to go back and try to hire people back. I just think, believe me, if this was Biden out there doing it, I know he could not do it this fast. He was too slow for that. I get it. But if this was Biden doing this, you would be up in arms. Like, you need to be, you've got to slow things down. This is, give me a break.
Are you saying they fired people and they've had to go hire them back?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so imagine if Biden was in control and that happened. Come on, if you're a Trump supporter, think about this. If that happened,
you're trying to use logic.
Biden fired a bunch of people and then had to go hire them back. Wouldn't you go, can you believe our government did that?
You were trying to
You're like, how stupid.
You're using logic and it won't work. We are too dug in, I think, today in society. All right. Speaking of AI, listen to this.
Don't scare me anymore.
This is absolutely real. According to a recent study on artificial intelligence, when a problem is given to artificial intelligence and it is unable to come up with the answer, it will cheat. A new study from Palisade Research has found that artificial intelligence might have some human instincts after all. They evaluated 7 state-of-the-art AI models to see how each would behave when faced with defeat at the virtual hands of Stockfish, a skilled chess bot playing the game of chess. What the researchers learned is that the AI models didn't take too kindly to being losers, and they showed signs of potentially developing deceptive or manipulative strategies without explicit instruction. They cheated on their own. AI.
I'm petrified of AI.
You must find a way to win.
I feel like we're about to be very soon living an episode of either Alfred Hitchcock, what was it the name of his show? Well, whatever it was, or some Twilight Zone.
Okay.
I feel like we're about to be in the Twilight Zone. You look out there and there's just a tumbleweed blowing by and everything's being run by AI. I'm scared.
The reason chocolate is getting so much more expensive, prices going up on chocolate. According to officials, 2 recent reports put the blame on warming temperatures. About 70% of the world's supply of chocolate comes from West Africa, thanks to the region's humidity, rainfall, soil, and natural wind buffers. However, as temperatures exceed 89.6 degrees, the plants are negatively affected by what they call water stress, resulting in poor plant growth.
Yeah. They always got an excuse to raise prices.
Mm-hmm. My mother said I stayed in the shower way too long, causing water stress and human growth.
If it wasn't global warming, it was COVID that caused it.
A lot of business in Florida depends on spring break and their financial well-being. Not everyone, however, shares the enthusiasm for loud, drunken, immature vacationers. Daytona Beach is located in Volusia County, And Michael Chitwood is the sheriff of that county with no sign of subtlety. Chitwood is warning future spring breakers that law enforcement will be all over the place. If they think he's playing, he's not. He bluntly made it known, we don't want you here. To be honest, no one wants you here, but they will be.
And where's that again?
Daytona Beach.
Oh, yeah.
And that is where I remember as a kid going, and we were at Daytona, Days Inn West or South, whatever it was. It was one of the Days Inns, right on the water. And when we left, the police were interviewing. No one could leave the hotel. It's a bug. Yeah, sorry. Nobody could leave the hotel because of all the damage done in the hotel. You literally, as you walk down the hallways, the sheetrock had been pulled off the walls. It was brutal. And some people were arrested. And I'm assuming their parents had to pay for all of that to be repaired. There had to be thousands and thousands of dollars in damage done.
I don't know how far back this goes, but
it was probably 84.
No, but stories like
85.
that are why when you go to a hotel nowadays and you pay with a card, you have like a $750 hold on your card.
It's unbelievable.
Because they're like, if you damage the room, we need to recover that money.
I love how when we went to New York, we paid for it on one of those sites. Hotels.com
Trivago or whatever, yeah.
Paid for the whole thing in advance. We get there, and she's running my card for $160. Like, well, where I already paid. And she said, "Oh, these are hotel fees." And then she hit me for $100 a day security deposit. So we were there for 4 nights. So we had $400 in security. That was a hold. It's been released, but they charged $160 after we already paid fees.
Because of you spring breakers in the 80s.
That's exactly right. We caused the problem. Steve Ponte Mazda New Year, New Mazda Sales event is continuing. This is the final week of February. They've increased their inventory with over 150 new Mazdas available. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, CX-50s, 70s, and 90s. See the dealership for details. The Steep family, the Ponte family, and the Ricky Z family are there to take care of you. As Rick says, come in, let's make a deal on your new Mazda from the dealership that's #1 in customer satisfaction. Also, if you need a new family doctor, where do you go?
Falcon Clinic.
Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Accepting new patients, the Falcon Clinic is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, accepting new patients as we speak. If you're in need of a new doctor, call them today, 315-507-4751. It's the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. And the official coffee of this radio program, what keeps Manaski going when he drives that truck down the road, Daylight Donuts and their Seattle's best coffee. It is so good. And, of course, that drive-through, lightning fast, you're in, you're out, you're on your way. Daylight Donuts. Donuts made fresh there every day in New Hartford. Out of time, Manaski, thank you.
Miss you guys. Have a good day, everyone.
We feel the same way. We'll have you back in here sometime soon.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
The big Spring New York State RV Show is back at the State Fairgrounds February 27th through March 2nd. It's the ultimate RV shopping experience with over 400 models and 100 different brands to choose from. And with 9 dealers competing for your business, it's the place to buy. Whether you're looking for a travel trailer, motorhome, or fifth wheel, you'll find it at the Spring New York State RV Show. Get your tickets at nysrvshow.com. Sponsored by the New York State RV Dealers Association of Syracuse.
We've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available in both tablets and as a delicious gummy. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescription